it up. Dance all night, get real loose. You don't need no bad excuse. Dance all night with anyone. Don't let nobody pick your phone. Shake it up. Shake it up. Yeah, shake it up. Shake it up. Just dance all night. Dance all night. Go all night. Shake it up.
Everyone up and mobile and going pretty well. It looks like the time clock is on Michael Davidson. We'll see what sort of a time he comes up with. And a 14.45 for Michael Davidson, a count of 46. So this time the clock is on Tim Cockrell in 16. As Jimmy Fleming moves inside him down the back straight. Warren Egan looks like he's going well tonight, so hopefully they've cured the problem, which is great news for Speedcar fans, and Warren is a top competitor. Jimmy Fleming at 43 as he makes his way through turns 1 and 2. He's showing plenty of straight line speed.
Looks like he's slowing considerably now. Has got back on the gas. But Todd Wallace in the side and going a whole lot faster. 15.34 seconds. 15.34. Well, once again, let's have a look. Let's ride with this one here. Car number 54 out there. The clock is on.
Four, three.
One fellow who made his debut at Archerfield here last weekend for the Ray Rowell Memorial is Michael Figliamini, and the first drive Michael made here, he took 5.5 seconds off the 10-lap record and a standing win. Michael, how do you adapt so quickly to a track such as this one?
Well, a bit of luck, I guess, but I've raced on a lot of different tracks in the past, and it's all experience. I guess you kind of remember most of it, hopefully, and someday it comes to good use.
Mate, you went on to win the Ray Rowell Memorial, and I know probably you didn't know of Ray Rowell when he was alive. You're probably too young for that, but how does it feel to you to win a race for such a great driver?
It's a lot of pride, you know, because I know it's one of the most prestigious races in Australia, along with another race that I feel very happy about winning. It's the Laurie Matthews Memorial, but the Ray Rowell, we'd never see it on the West Coast, obviously, and to come over here and win that is, you know, really special to us. And you know, I know the Rowell name very well, and you know, hopefully they'll have a good run tonight with Glenn driving, and you know, I'd like to finish in front of him, obviously, but I wish them good luck.
Michael, you've won 3 Australian Championships so far. What's the plan of attack tonight? Just to get as many points as you can?
Yeah, just to finish mainly. I mean, obviously do the best we can, but the number one priority, as we've always found out, is finish the races. And you know, one year in my home track at Claremont, we had a DNF, but we're fortunate enough that most of the other top competitors also had DNF, so we got away with that one.
Michael, you actually build your own cars. It must be very satisfying to you to actually race a car you built yourself and win with it.
Yeah, I probably get as much enjoyment out of building a car as racing it, but you know, I don't know, the fun of sort of proving that it can work is, you know, one of the big things that drives me to, you know, try and not reinvent the wheel, but try and just make something a little bit different. And although now the car is very similar to a lot of other cars, but in the past they've always been really strange looking suspension pieces bolted on and welded on, and you know, we have a lot of fun with people trying to work out how that could work. And
Going to Mark Glazebrook, we'll see if he can improve upon that, but it's sitting on the front row outside, none other than Michael Figliamini. So plenty of hot competition out there. Andrew Wright also going very well. So 3 guys who are probably in contention for first place for this one, as our Aussie trackwear pace car pulls to the infield. The guys are all set to go. This is the first qualifying heat of the 2002 Australian Speedcar Championship. So come around turn 4, the nerves will be up, the heart will be pumping as we get set to go racing. Heat 1, green flag, we're off and running. Straight to the front goes Figliamini, and going with him on the outside is Andrew Wright, as Craig Smith hangs on to 3rd place, and a bit of a sandwich there at the back as Mark Glazebrook moves up to the 3rd place. Smith is 4th, Stenaway 5th, and Jarrah Power in 6th position. Now straight away up the fourth, Power also moves through on the inside of Smith. Now Michael Figliamini's cleared out, he has about 10 car lengths lead on Andrew Wright. A similar distance back to Mark Lakebrook and further back to Stanaway. But Figliamini will stand his authority on this championship. Nice clean line from Figliamini as the last click down. Andrew Wright doing a good job in second. And Mark Lakebrook holding on to third. So let's watch Figliamini comes down the main straight as Andrew Wright gets in a little bit of stride in turn 4 and gets out of shape. Fortunately not losing his position. So Figliamini straight and smooth as he heads his field. Very steady driving on the wheel. Figliamini super smooth. Andrew Wright still in second. Mark Lakebrook third and Ken Stanaway doing a good job in 18. That engine was only finished doing real well this afternoon. Showing good speed on the air slinger. But it's all Figliamini. About 4 laps to go. The length of the straight lead now from Wright. But Lakebrook still in third. Craig Smith doing a good job in car 55. Still unfamiliar to him. He tails the field at this present time. Just a couple of laps remaining. And Figliamini coming around to get the white flag. So he's on his last lap. And still Andrew Wright and Mark Lakebrook debating over second and third place. As Lakebrook closes up, we'll probably run out of time. Figliamini comes out of the final turn, takes the win in heat 1, 401 points for him. Andrew Wright will be second, Mark Lakebrook third, they're back to Kent Stanaway. Down Power running for fifth, and Craig Smith will be in for sixth place. So we'll give you the final placings for that event. First place going to car number 34, Michael Figliamini. Second to number 76, Andrew Wright. And third to number 10, Mark Glazebrook. The time on our Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:18.46. And guess what? Michael Figliamini has just shattered the 10-lap record once again. Another 2 seconds off the time. It's down to 2:18.46 from 2:20.9.
3.
One of the favourites for the 2002 Australian Speedcar Championship would have to be Warren Eakins from Darwin. Warren, you raced here last week for the Ray Revell Memorial Race and struck a few problems. Have you been able to rectify those this week?
Not as yet. We haven't really found anything. We've done a lot of things after practice again on Wednesday. We still had the same problem, so we basically took the shotgun approach and just replaced everything this week since Wednesday. And we're just going to have to go out there and suck it and see.
Mate, despite the problem last week, you still managed to finish third. How difficult is it to drive a car when it just won't perform the way you want it to?
Well, you have to overdrive the car because it would operate upstairs, but as soon as you thought about getting out of the throttle, the thing would stall or stumble. They had a lot of restarts, which hurt us. So it becomes, you have to overdrive getting in, and then you're worried about, having a half a lose and stuff like that, so you're worried about the guys behind you. You're sort of letting it all hang out and just trying to do the right thing, but, we just had to compete and try and finish the race and get some laps because we hadn't sat in the car for 12 months. So it was a bit of a tall order, but, hey, if everything goes okay, I'm sure right at the business end we should be there.
You're saying you haven't done much racing in the last 12 months. How do you manage to keep yourself sharp? You came here last week and you're really on the pace right from the go. How do you manage to keep yourself sort of race conditioned, I suppose you'd say?
Well, it's not really race condition. I think it's a bit like riding a push bike. You're not. There's no way you can be as sharp as what you would be if you raced all the time and tuned in. So yeah, we do struggle a little bit there. But unfortunately, that's the situation I'm faced with unless I'm prepared to travel more throughout the year, and time just doesn't permit that these days. Probably our best racing days are behind us, and we've got to think more about the future now. But I still love racing, and the will to win is still there, and I hope we can do something tonight.
Mate, you've won 4 Australian Championships so far. I know you're very keen to win your 5th, but do you think it might be this year, or are you going to keep trying till you get it?
Well, I don't know. You might have to retire before I get it. You're getting too old and end up like a pensioner. But, yeah, look, as I said, I think that we've got, if the engine runs properly and things fall our way, we've got as good a chance as, you know, as anybody out there. And if it was keenness to win it, you know, we're right up there with probably 10 blokes that want to win the race. So it just comes down to who jags the right setup and who does the best. You know, we're right there. There's no doubt about that. We just got to hope that we can get the darn thing to run properly.
Points vital to get them into the big championship race. The more points they get, the closer they start to the front of the field. So this is heat 2 out of 16 and heat 2 of round 1. For round 2 they will reverse positions and swap lanes. So the field now is set to go. Speed coming up a little. They're keen to get underway with this. And green flag waves, so Bill Foreman. And a collision there right on the very start between Warren Eakins, Michael Davidson and Scott Jenkins, but all cars still running. But it looks like Michael Hart is pulling to the infield. So your leader is Johnny Davidson and car not call. And red lights on. A big accident up in turn number 1 and 2. Looks like Scott Jenkins in trouble. He was involved in that melee right on the start-finish line, so whether that's caused some damage to the car that he wasn't aware of. You can see full red light situation, all cars must come to a halt. The frame itself is fairly substantially damaged. It's taken a very heavy hit right on the top of the roll cage, so the cage has done its job. Scott is quite shaken. He has he's holding his head, so I say he's dizzy and has a headache. So we're just waiting on the ambulance to come and check him out before they remove him from the car.
In the booth just near the entrance gate behind the admin office.
He's probably motor.
Show your appreciation for not only the fine job that he's done at the wheel, but also, of course, a great job by all of the medical team involved. I know Barry Lane looking for an open mic. Barry?
Yeah, Jason, I can't praise the first aid and ambulance people highly enough. They were very, very careful the way they lifted him out. In fact, they put a sling under the top part of his legs, so they lift him out without any movement, and they succeeded in doing that and getting him out and onto the stretcher. So they've just done a terrific job. He's in great hands, and they'll be taking him off to hospital very shortly.
Swing like a moose. You see a lazy, a way to get funky, a like the way to flow and swing like a moose.
On Maroon and Millie, here's a rock flashback.
Yes, well, Millie and I, one of our...
Last week was, I think, about 2:29. They've taken a massive amount of time off it in the last 2 weeks. And a little bit of a touch there between our two front runners. So hopefully we'll get over that. So as our pace car pulls infield, we're about ready to go racing. The field bunches up. They're all very nervous, I think. The speed is up. Green flag waving and we're racing. So Bill Foreman leads the way, but look at Aaron Aldridge on the outside. Made a good run but then lost ground. So John Davidson takes over the Aldridge run, very high, wide and handsome. Down the outside, moves up to the second spot. A good drive from him. There's Warren Eakins and Michael Hart there jostling through turns 1. Eakins up in the third spot. Mark George following him. But Johnny Davidson's the leader, Aaron Aldridge second for West Australia, and Warren Eakins from the Northern Territory. So we've got 3 states in the first 3 places as Mark George challenges. Michael Hart has turned the back of the field. But it's Johnny Davidson setting a good base out in front. There's one part himself going particularly well. He knows the pathway around this track. And Warren Eakins closing in on Aaron Aldridge. Now 3 laps down. And now Eakins having a big look at Aldridge. Looks at the inside line. Can he go on with it down the back straight? No. Now he looks outside. Up the inside he goes through turn 3. Picks up Aldridge, bit wide. Aldridge comes back on the inside. And very nearly picked up the spot, but Eakins hangs on to that. But Davidson has cleared out to about a 10-car length lead. About halfway through this race, John Davidson really taking it up to the field. There's also a performance sponsored Montana. So Davidson and Eakins second, Holdswich third. We go back to Michael Hardis in fourth, then Michael Davidson and Mark George. Now, when John Davidson started Speedcar racing in the Northern Territory, the guy who looked up to was Eakins. The guy who learned a lot more than me was Eakins. So now, can he beat the Master home? Eakins trying everything to pick up ground, but Davidson's setting a good pace out in front. And nice and smooth, he won't be phased. He's used to the pressure. Couple of laps left to go. So Davidson, Eakins charges up to Davidson. He might have an opening. White flag out, one to go. Can Davidson hang on to this lead? So Queenslander, come on Queenslander, Barry for him. John Davidson and Eakins has dropped off the speed. So this should be given to Davidson. He comes down to turn 4. How about his big hand for his two-way fans? John Davidson first, Warren Eakins in second. Aaron Holdsworth third, Michael Davidson fourth. Then we go to Michael Hardis and Mark George. And Bill Foreman will be next home. So just to repeat the placings in heat number 2 of round 1. First place going to car number 12, John Davidson. Second to 45, Warren Eakins. And third to 77, Aaron Holdswich. And if we look at the time on our Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:25.10, 2:25.10. Okay, just about all locked in. Chances are they must get points tonight. So 401 points going to the winner of this heat. This is heat 3. So they come around, ready to get underway. 10 laps once again. The distance speed comes up, and we're racing. Clayton Walker from the outside front row goes to the front, followed by Jimmy Fleming with a great outside pass, and Barry Wickstead charging up the inside in the third spot. Kim Cockrell fourth, Steve Burrow fifth and challenging, and Barry White at the back of the field, but it's all Clayton Walker at the front in car number 11. This car running a Buick Gertie engine is showing lots of pace. So Clayton Walker leading the way. Jimmy Fleming not too far behind and looking for a run up the inside as Barry Wickstead closes in on the ball. And up he comes Jimmy Fleming challenging on the inside. Neck and neck into turn 3, side by side they go through the corner. And Walker just pulling slightly away. So Walker still leading this a bit. Fleming in second, Wickstead third, Shane Burrow fourth, Tim Cockrell fifth, Barry White in sixth. And a little bit of smoke appearing under the bonnet of Clayton Walker's car. I would say that's just an oil leak under the exhaust pipe. You can see as it goes through the turns, it's actually coming off the top of the pipe. So Clayton Walker doing a good job there. This is the Ross Keener-owned Buick Power Palace. And Jimmy Fleming staying right with it as Barry Wickstead drops completely off the pace and drops to the back of the field. So that puts Stan Barrow up in the third spot. So Walker and Fleming. I think Fleming might be straining a little bit to the end. He's certainly within striking distance. About 4 laps to go. Walker still in front. Fleming and Stan Barrow putting in a good drive further back. Now Fleming, he's right on Walker's tail line. Will he make a move? No, holds back. There's still a couple of laps up his sleeve. Plenty of time to go on with this. He might leave it right till the end, not to give him a chance to come back. Walker, Fleming, Barrow third, Wickstead fourth, Cockrell fifth and White in sixth. White flag coming out, they're on their last lap. This is Fleming's last chance. The Walker's drawn away a little. So it looks like Walker's got enough speed to keep him in front. Walker, Fleming and Burrow, that will be the order. Across the finish line, box up the win for Clayton Walker. Second to Fleming, third to Burrow, fourth to Wickstead, fifth to Cockrell and sixth to Barry White. Okay, Speedway fans, another win going to a Queenslander. First place to car number 11, Clayton Walker. Second to 43, Jimmy Fleming for Western Australia. Third was 8, Stan Burrow. Fourth would have been 9, Barry Wickstead. Fifth will be 16, Kim Cockrell from South Australia. And sixth would be 15, Barry White.
Okay, 5, 4, 3.
One of the Queensland hopes for taking out this year's Australian Speedcar Championship would have to be Todd Wanless. Todd, how's preparations gone so far for this event?
Yeah, we're a lot better prepared this year than we were last year. We went to Adelaide last year not knowing how everything's going to go, and we were pretty much a contender, except for a bit of bad luck. So this year, Ross and Greenie and myself have really got together and made a really big effort, and done a lot of homework, got a new engine, and obviously Ross and Greenie done a lot of tireless work at home. I think we're pretty prepared. Like, as long as I don't make any silly mistakes, I think we'll be okay.
Now, you mentioned a new engine. What have you fitted in the off-season to make it go quicker this season?
It's a Brayton forward-headed motor. I don't really know a lot about it, but the motor's unbelievable. It definitely makes me look better. But it's a Brayton built motor from America with a forward cylinder head, so and it's a rocket ship. So,
Mate, obviously a lot quicker than the one you had last year.
No, the last year one was really good, but we had a little bit of bad luck here and there. But Clayton Walker is running it this year, and he's doing an exceptional job. So there's nothing wrong with last year's motor, but just I suppose it might be a mental thing.
Mate, your father won this championship 2 years in a row back in the late 70s, early 80s. What sort of pressure's on you to sort of be the first father and son combination to win this championship?
Yeah, it's not really a lot of pressure. It's a different situation, different story, a lot of water under the bridge. Like, sure, I really want to win this race dearly, like more than anything, really. But by the same token, yeah, it'd be great to do that as a family thing for Dad and I. But like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, well, hey, we'll get on with it. But if we have a good this year, it'll definitely inspire me to keep racing next year and the year after. Like, speed car racing's fantastic. I've obviously come from sprint car ranks, but speed car racing is great. The people are fantastic, and the nostalgia of the sport. It's a 56 running of the speed car title, like, and the nostalgia and the people, it's just fantastic. It's just an aura about the event.
The car you're driving is actually owned by Ross Keener. Now, Ross raced for many years himself with a lot of success. What's it like to have a guy with all his knowledge helping you out in the pits?
I think he's one of the most underestimated crew chiefs in Australia. I didn't realise, Ross, when we started working with him, I said, okay, yeah, we just went along, and his knowledge is unbelievable. Like, if I went and done my own sprint car team and went back sprint car, Ross would be the first guy in the race. Like, I rate him as a Steve Brazier and an Alan Phelps for sprint car racing. He's definitely up there. He's the most underestimated guy in Australia. He's incredible.
And Neville Lance there, you'll see. The Glen Rebel's no slouch, a former New South Wales Speedcar champion. And you'll see there the field tightening up. We're just about ready to go racing with Heat 4. As we come around, the speed will come up very soon. There must be side-by-sides to get to the white line. Speed comes up, and green flag wave. And Rebel and Lance go through the turn side-by-side. Now Lance picks the advantage up. Peter Jen Jr. is up to third, and Wallace, a huge run through the field. He's up in the third spot already, being followed by Dean McCallum. And Neville Lance is cleared out. And you can watch his driving style with no side panel on the side of the frame. You can watch him at work in the cockpit. As now Wallace and McCallum go side by side into turn 3. And McCallum with a nice drive up the inside of Glen Rebel, who I think might have some problems. He seems to have lost a lot of speed. We have a red light on. We have a car upside down, just trying to pick the number. I think that may be Gordon Clough, just trying to pick all the rest of the cars up. Yeah, just check with Gordon to see if he's AR8. He said, I think I am. So I guess that's a good sign, but he's walked away. That's very important. I know Clive Jones up doing our lap scoring in this race. He drives at 110% the whole time. We come around for the restart of the witch right near the start-finish line. Brings them in very slowly. And green light. No, green light, stop on. Yellow light still flashing. Yellow light still flashing, so obviously our steward Peter Holland not happy with that start. Something wasn't quite right, so we'll have to go around and do it again. Someone will have the finger pointed at them, and we'll wait and see who that's going to be. No fingers, so we're all ready. Witch's hat's out again. Will we get a start this time? Yes, green light comes straight on. And look at Glen Rebel, he took advantage of that and nearly got away with it. Todd Wallace also going with him down the outside he goes. Nice piece of driving from Wallace. But Neville Lance is cleared out already from this field. Wallace second. Glen Rebel third. Then Dean McCallum, Peter Jen Jr. and Barry Valentino. So Neville Lance, his first time he's raced on this track. Normally used to the big tracks in the west, and he's certainly come to grips with it very quickly. Did a bit to sort of back in the field as Shane Revell has dropped back a little, now into the clutches of Peter Jan Jr. and Barry Valentino. I'd say there's a problem with that car. And now Todd Wallace. You can see Lance tightening that inside front wheel. He's really got the foot down. But Wallace went back up either. We've got two real hard charges running first and second. Lance, Wallace. Lance seems to have plenty of straight line speed. Wallace closes in on the turns. Lance and Wallace. Now look at Dean McCallum. He's not too far back as either. This young charger from the west. He'll keep the foot down. He'll keep them honest. And Glenn Revell looks like problems with the Gertie. He slowed right up. Bad luck, he's come a long way to race. And now Wallace obviously losing a lot of ground in that turn. As Lance has pulled away to clear lead, I think Wallace has got a problem because McCallum has closed in very quickly over the last lap or so. The seven pick up strong. So Neville Lance has cleared out from this field with just a couple of laps to go. Lance puts Revell the lap down. Also Wallace moving up on their last lap. On their last. Neville Lance coming through the final turn. This has been a big win for Lance. He needed these points. So first place going to Neville Lance, second to Todd Wallace, third to Dean McCallum, fourth will go to Barry Valentino, fifth to Peter Jan Jr. And sixth place, if he makes it around, will be Glenn Revell. Righto, how about that? Speedway fans, what a great drive there from Neville Lance. First place, West Australian 14, Neville Lance. Second going to number 3, Todd Wallace. And third to number 61, Dean McCallum. At the time, 2:06.05. That's what it says on our Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:06.05.
Hi, my name's Mark Glazebrook. I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I race for the Peter Harvey, Murphy, Gertie Speedcar. I'm going to run through a few basics. We start from the back. Got a plastic rubber 77 litre fuel tank, run methanol fuel. It's a lot harder to ignite than normal petrol you run in your cars. Magnesium aluminium diff. It's a solid diff, a locker diff. 4-piston caliper, inboard brake rotor. All aluminium wheels, titanium bolts. Soft rubber, plenty of traction. Left-hand tyre is smaller than the right-hand tyre. The stagger ranges between, say, 5 inches to 10 inches, depending on the track service. 5-point safety harness in here. Got to have that. Throw them away if you have a dumper. Triple layer race suit. Latest helmets. We have to throw away our helmets after 3 years. Power steering. Basic gauges in there. There's not much in there. You don't have time to look at the gauges. Mechanical fuel injection down in there. You can see the fuel pump. Dry sump tank on the outside here. We run dry sump. Keeps the crank spinning free. Tune length headers, stepped, plenty of power there. Pull the bonnet off. Basically what we've got is a 410 aluminium Chev with the right hand bank cut off of it. It runs all the sprint car gear. It's all aluminium, nice and light. producing about 320, depending who you talk to. Some people say 350, but 320 is a pretty conservative figure, horsepower. The car itself only weighs 400 kilos. Some of the guys are getting down to 370 kilos. So it gives you a really good power to weight ratio. It really kicks you in the back when you stand on the gas. We're always pulling wheel stands because we haven't got a wing to hold us down, so they're fun to drive. The front axle's chrome moly. It's offset more to the right. It helps us turn the corner. We only run a brake rotor on the left front. It helps us get into the corner underneath the guy and stand on the brakes, and it gets us through the corner. What else? Aluminium radiator. Keep the weight off the front end because we want to get all the traction, so you want the transfer of weight onto the rear end, so it gets the front wheels up in the air. You can see on the right hand side it's really offset compared to the left hand side. The left hand side of the car is really tucked in. The right hand side we can get right far out. It keeps us stable on the rough tracks. We're hooking a rut. You don't want it tipping over on you. Hopefully this will bring us in the top 5 of the national title.
Right behind Ken Stanaway and Michael Hardis, I would say. Yes, Andrew Wright, John Davidson, Michael Figliamini and Bill Foreman as our pace car removes itself from the racing surface, and these are all set and ready to go. This is heat 5, first heat of the second round, 10 laps the distance, and let's see how we go. They're all anxious to start, tightening it up, speed coming up. We watch for a green flag, we're racing. Mark George from the outside going with power. Oh, and a big hit there between John Davidson and Andrew Wright. There's also Michael Hardis in trouble with Michael Figliamini, so the field sorts itself out, but the yellow lights have come on. Yellow caution lights are on. We have Michael Hardis stationary in the back straight. There's the water in the block and the air that moves around it while it's going quick. The alcohol fuel helps as well, but there is definitely no fan. Okay, Michael Hardis coming through, pushing up into his spot. Looks like we make it a green this time round. Ready to go racing, green lights on. Once again, Mark George and down power side by side through turn 1. As John Davidson goes for a big run down the outside, has picked up 3 spots. A brilliant piece of driving from Davidson. As now Mark George asserts his authority at the front of the field. As Andrew Wright gets all crossed up and sideways parks it in turn 4. So yellow lights on again. So I'm not too sure if there was any contact there with another vehicle. Now once again we have not completed a racing lap, so it's a full restart. Hopefully third time lucky with this one. So Andrew Wright fires up the Gertie. And he's on infield. You can imagine the heartbeats coming up. The heart rate would be up nice and high. The nerves are a bit jittery. The accelerator pedal is feeling a bit hard. But we're going to try again. Let's see what happens this time. Green flag and we're racing. So once again, George and Power are side by side, and John Davidson does the same thing. Rounds up Hardis and Figliamini in one fell swoop. A nice piece of driving from Davidson. So Mark George has the lead. Power second. Stanaway third. Then we go back to Davidson and Figliamini. So Mark George sets the pace in car 54. As down Power hangs on to his second spot. Now Ken Stanaway trying to find a way through on the inside, and Davidson and Figliamini arguing over that 4th position. The pace well and truly on as Figliamini puts a move on Davidson. A bit of a clash of wheels there, and Davidson's been left parked in turn 2. 3 cars coming together there. Unfortunately, Davidson on the outside. Well, so he'll move up. I would think into probably the 4th position. Michael Figliamini arguing over that. They'll probably come in side by side. This will be interesting as they go past the Witch's Hat. Yellow lights are still flashing, so Stewart not happy at all with this order. So now the board has gone out with the numbers on, and Michael Saab coming up momentarily. So Mark George and the Pontiac leading the way and doing a fine job. As we come around, this is a single file start as we go past the Witch's Hat. Green lights are on and we're racing. So George maintains the advantage at the front now. Figliamini moves inside Davidson and goes up the 4th spot. Also Stanaway advances from 3rd to 2nd, moving up past Power. Now Figlamini putting pressure on Power as well. Moves up inside down to Mate straight away. And the third spot. So the order is Mark George, Ken Stanaway, Michael Figlamini, Darren Power, John Davidson, Andrew Wright. And a couple further back, but now Figlamini putting the pressure on Stanaway. Moves high, moves low, and scoots up the inside. A nice move for Figlamini. Stanaway comes back on the inside and does the same back. But Figlamini won't give in. Powers around the outside and holds on to his second spot. And Mark George still leading the way. As Andrew Wright and John Davidson have a bit of a touch-up. About halfway through this race, and Figlamini is now moving closer and closer to George. Mark George, a real kill customer, can hear him coming. As Michael Hardis pulls infield with a flat inside back tyre. So George, Figlamini, Stanaway, then back to Darren Power, Andrew Wright, John Davidson. Now we've got side by side, Figlamini and George. Mark George doing a good job. But Figlamini with a lot of speed, rounds him up going down the back straight. George comes back on the inside. We don't have too far to go, only a couple of laps in this event. Figlamini, Mark George, Ken Stanaway, Darren Power and Andrew Wright. That's top five for this stage of the race. Then Figlamini, once again with the white flag coming out. One lap to go for him. Figlamini, George, at a similar distance to Alvarez Carlex, back to Stanaway. They're back to Darren Power, just hanging on the ball. Andrew Wright trying everything to get past, but it's all Michael Figlamini. He crosses the finish line to win heat 5. Mark George second, Ken Stanaway third, Darren Power fourth, Andrew Wright fifth, John Davidson sixth, and Bill Foreman will run into 7th position. Right, just to confirm those placings for you. First place going to car number 34, Michael Figlamini. Second to 54, Mark George. And third to 18, Ken Stanaway. And the time, I believe this would be for 8 laps, would be 1:53.69. It's shown on Centenary Real Estate time clock. 1:52. Anthony Vanderraden, who made his workshop available for him to work on the car and helped out quite a bit to get this car back on the racetrack. So Aaron Holdswich there up in his spot, so he's ready. Let's say next time round we should be ready to get underway with this heat number 6. The flyer on this one. Field bunches up. Okay, as we come around out of turn 4, Davidson will want to get away smartly here. Green flag, which we're waving. Gets it in, we're racing. And look at Eakins already up in the second spot, putting pressure on Davidson. Wickstead moves through one up in the third spot. So the order, Michael Davidson, Warren Eakins, Barry Wickstead, Barry Watt. There's now Eakins putting more pressure on Davidson. Scoots up the inside, but not enough room to go on with it. And now Barry Wickstead joins this freight train. But Davidson doing a good job out in front, holding onto that pole line. Moves a little wider, it's just enough room for Eakins. So Eakins now hits the front. This Fontana-powered Murphy has got a lot of speed. But that problem's getting in the run from him. It looks like it's full steam ahead from here on in. So Eakins, Davidson and Wickstead your order. So go back further to Aaron Holswich, Barry Watt, Tim Cottrell and John Shipley. So Warren Eakins showing the style. Why he's so good, why he's been Australian champion 4 times during the 1990s. This man hails from Darwin in the Northern Territory, does not do a lot of racing. Proud to read because at this stage there's no midgets running up there, but certainly has not lost any ability. And Michael Davidson doing a good job in second. Barry Wickstead in third and lifting that inside front wheel about a foot in the air. Lap sticking down about halfway through. The order unchanged. The further they go, the further Eakins fills his lead. An interesting tussle going on further back to field with Barry Watt and Kim Cottrell. Warren Eakins flying down the back chute under our time clock. We'll put John Shipway a lap down. Okay, puts him way up down. Davidson still second with a big mark back to Barry Winston. And about the same back to Aaron Holt, which in fourth. And still Barry Watt and Kim Cockrell argue over their positions. One lap to get Regans on his last. Interesting to see what time he comes away with. As Barry Watt and Kim Cockrell can tell this fellow has been going all race. But Eakins comes out of turn 4, will take the checkered flag, run up his heat win. Second will go to Michael Davidson. Third to Barry Wickstead. Fourth will go to Aaron Holt, which, now let's see who comes around for fifth. Barry White will looks like hold on for fifth spot. Sixth to Kim Cockrell. And seventh will go to John Shipley. So just to confirm those placings for you, first place going to number 45, Warren Eakins. Second to 46, Michael Davidson, and third place to number 9, Barry Wickstead. And the time, as you'll see on the Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:22.24, 2:22.24 for Eakins, Michael Davidson and Barry Wickstead. He's been performing pretty well so far tonight. Neville Lance at the back coming off a win in his first heat. And I'll check the time, but I think Neville might have even broken the 10-lap record again, but I'll get that confirmed for you. And Clayton Walker, who had a problem, had the car up on drums in the pits, working on whether he's just taking his time, no need to rush. So he'll move up there, I think, behind Jimmy Fleming. And once again, this race will be 10 laps. All the qualifying heats over the 10-lap journey. So we are set on the front row, an interesting front row there, Burrow and Valentino. If Stan Burrow gets set, a very fast best of times. Also, if he gets the bit between his teeth. As our pace car pulls to the infield, we are ready to go racing. You can see Wanless looking for the gap up the middle already. They come around. Stan Barrow, very experienced, still lead this field in properly. They come down to 8 straight. Green light trying to wear racing. Valentino got a good start. Picked up the advantage, and Burrow's got up the inside. And look at Wallace looking for a run down the outside as Fleming goes inside. It's on for Young and Old as they run into turns 3 and 4. Wallace and Fleming arguing over that spot. Wallace still trying. That outside rider, Neville Lance, he's come from nowhere. Up the third spot already, a terrific ride from Neville Lance. And now Wallace is on the chase, but Valentino leads the way. Stan Barrow second, Neville Lance third. Wallace, Fleming and Walker all in there. They are running hard. Wallace goes inside Lance and up the third spot. Lance comes up, back up the inside down the back straight, and Wallace is flying very hard. Up the inside of Burrow, and Lance goes inside, both of them. How's up for racing, it's on for Young and Old. Lance runs a little wide, Wallace comes back up in the second spot. Fantastic Speedcar racing. Valentino still leading the way from Wallace, Lance, Burrow, Fleming and Walker. Now Wallace goes inside Valentino and Lance goes with him. Valentino runs with him on the outside but can't maintain it. Now with 6 laps to go. Oh, a touch there! Neville Lance and Wallace have touched. And we have the car upside down. Looks like Jimmy Fleming had nowhere to go and has picked up a wheel and gone upside down. Back on his wheels. And looks like Jimmy Fleming is A-OK. Lance just running a bit hard into turn 3, got it all locked up and backed it into the fence. Jimmy Fleming with nowhere to go. And bad luck for Jimmy, he's been going so well. Hopefully nothing too serious there with the car, but you can see the outside rear tyre is definitely flat. You have a full rev situation. So Wallace keen to get on the pedal. Valentino goes, green lights are on, we're racing. Valentino dives low into turn 1, Wallace dives a bit lower, but really lost speed of anything. Now Clayton Walker rounds up Burrow, moves up in the third spot. Show your order. Valentino, Wallace, Walker and Burrow is still arguing over third spot. Now Barry Valentino at this stage of the race holding Wallace at bay. About halfway through. Barry Valentino, second generation driver, Montana powered in an Alice chassis of the United States. Holding up Todd Wallace. Wallace trying everything to get through. Touches him on the back, lifts the front wheels off the deck. They've got to go round, he's climbed up to him, and he does exactly that, goes past him in turn 3, goes to the front, so it's Wanless, Valentino, Walker and Polo the order. And Todd Wanless in car number 3, now moving away from the rest of the field. About 11 and a half to go. So Todd Wanless getting very valuable points in this round. Yellow flag is out. So the field on its last lap. And Clayton Walker having all sorts of trouble there back in the field, trying to contend with Stan Burrow. So first place will go to Todd Wanless in this heat. Second to Barry Valentino. Third to Clayton Walker and fourth to Stan Burrow. So how about a hand for him, a local lad, Todd Wanless, first place in heat number 7. Well done, Todd. Second place going to 23, Barry Valentino, and third to number 11, Clayton Walker. And the time for the final 6 laps, if we look over there on our Centenary Real Estate clock, says 1:27.26.
Great.
Older brother of Scott Glazebrook is Mark Glazebrook. Last weekend, Mark, you came out here and you had a great night, including breaking a track record. How'd that feel?
Yeah, track record was a bit of a surprise. We won it off the front, so they're easy to win off the front. I spent the last 2 laps at about half throttle because I had oil pressure troubles, and when I got back in and the guy said you broke your track record, I was shocked.
Mate, how much work and preparation's gone into the car just coming here for the titles?
Oh, at home it's pretty been as normal. Sponsors have helped out a bit with getting us here, and then since we've been here it's been flat out every day for 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 or 4 o'clock at night we've been working, so yeah, the boys have worked hard.
Mate, how do you feel your chances are going to be for this weekend?
Oh, I'm confident of a top 5 finish. It's pretty hard. I mean, nobody can say they're going to win. If they do, they're full. But I'm hoping for a top 5 finish.
You have a pretty good record, actually, in Australian titles over the last few years, haven't you?
Yeah, we've finished in the top 10 the last 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, the team aims to make the final. If you make the final, you're doing well because, I mean, it's a lot of luck. So, but hopefully this year, hopefully top 5 finish, and we'll be happy.
Mate, the Glazebrook team's a real family affair, isn't it? We've sort of got the whole family with you this weekend.
Yeah, it's all family, mate. Yep.
So it's the family that plays together, stays together, is that right?
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, mate, best of luck for this weekend. Hope everything goes to plan for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
So a lot of work on pole. Beside him, Mark Glazebrook in car number 10. Second row is Dean McCallum in 61. In car 55, Craig Smith. 33 is Peter Dent Jr. And number 98, Glenn Rebel. Once again, they're going to go over 10 laps. Pace car pulls infield as we get set for heat number 8. Coming around. Dean McCallum keen to get going, so is Mark Glazebrook. We have a start. Yes, we do. A bit of a clash there between McCallum and Clough. They're on the way now, though. So we have out in front Mark Glazebrook, who did hold the 10-lap record until tonight. And Dean McCallum trying to... Oh, gee whiz. A big spin for Mark Glazebrook. Parked himself up on the infield. And if he's out of harm's way, that's where they'll stay. So the order at the moment is Gordon Clough leading Craig Smith, Dean McCallum, Peter Dent Jr. and Glenn Rebel. Gordon Clough very wide coming out of turn 4. And Craig Smith rounded him up, a guy under the front in the Volvo. So the order, Craig Smith, Gordon Clough, Dean McCallum and Peter Dent Jr. very tightly packed in this field. And Craig Smith doing a very good job in front. This car Volvo powered. Single overhead camshaft. And Dean McCallum showing a lot of speed and a bit of sideways action there. They straighten it up and keep going. So Craig Smith, Victoria, leading this field at the moment as Gordon Clough gets very sideways coming out of 2. Out of 4, I should say. So Craig Smith about halfway through. I know his father Eric will be very excited in the pits if he can maintain this. But Dean McCallum still on the charge. And he's rounded up Gordon Clough, so Dean McCallum up to 2nd. Bump in 3rd, but still Smith leading the way as they go down the back straight. And Gordon Clough had a bit of trouble down the back straight. Peter Dent Jr. picks him up and goes up to 3rd. 5 laps showing to go. And Craig Smith, undaunted, leading the way from Dean McCallum. McCallum second, this young fellow from Western Australia. Peter Gent Jr. doing a fine job, and Smith makes one fine mistake in turn 2, and McCallum just picks him straight up and goes to the front. We'll see how this young fellow goes to the front of the field. Dean McCallum leading the way from Craig Smith, Peter Gent Jr., Wayne Rebell and Gordon Clough. I think McCallum was not too far to go now. White flag coming out to let the field know they're on their last lap. It's still McCallum, Smith, Gent Jr., Rebell and Clough. But Dean McCallum's put in a fine drive. He'll come away with a heat win. Dean McCallum for Western Australia. Craig Smith second. Peter Gent Jr. third. Ben Rebell will run in for fourth, and Gordon Clough nicely parks his car coming out of turn 4, narrowly missing Mark Glazebrook. It looks like there may be a bit of flame there on the grass as the flame coming exhaust has set the grass on fire, but looks like they've put that out. A bit of quick work up there. So just to confirm the placings for you, first place goes to car number 61, Dean McCallum from Western Australia. Second will go to number 55, Craig Smith from Victoria. And third will be 33, Peter Gent Jr. A welcome visitor to Brisbane International Speedway for this weekend for the Australian Championship is none other than Jeff Pilgrim from Perth. Welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, Barry, thanks very much.
Mate, must bring back a lot of great memories for you coming here tonight, because you were actually the Australian Speedcar champion back here at Archerfield in 1983.
Yeah, that's right. We won it here in 83, and unfortunately it was the shortest national title holder ever. We only had it till, I think, August, when the next national title in 83 was run in Darwin, and Keith Mann won it.
Mate, what did it mean to you to win an Australian Championship? Because in those days, the fields were huge and there's some fantastic drivers.
Yeah, it's a culmination of all the effort and everything yourself and the crew put into the car, and we just liked this track immensely. Everything I did here, everything seemed to work right. We couldn't do a thing wrong.
Mate, you actually raced here later on after you won the title and won the 100 lapper. Is that right?
Yeah, as I said, Bruce Ayres was looking after the car, and he seemed to have everything working right for me. I couldn't go wrong, and we won a 100 lapper and also the World Derby the year after that.
Mate, so Brisbane's a really good place for you.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. It's a pity I've retired. When you come here and see all the top machinery and the old guys I used to race with, it's get your foot all itchy again, but no, I've retired now and look at new things to do.
Good on you, mate. Well, look, enjoy the weekend. I hope it really brings back some great memories for you as well as some good racing for you.
Thanks very much, Barry. Yeah, I really enjoy myself. Thanks a lot.
Racing's been hard. So we'll go 10 laps. So Dean McCallum to lead them in. He's coming off a win. Beside him, Peter Gent Jr., Valentino and Walker behind, and then Gordon Clough. So probably Dean McCallum maybe a good chance for this. Green flags out. Peter Gent Jr. jumped. So McCallum's gone a big run, and the yellow lights are on. Yellow lights are on. Might be a small field, but gee, aren't they keen to go racing? My heavens, boy, oh boy. A very hairy first corner. Luckily all got through it unscathed. And Gordon Clough in a slightly bent beast at the back. This time we'll get it right as they come around to face the starter. And we're racing. Whoa, bit of a touch there between Dean McCallum and Peter Gent Jr. And you can see the result. Peter Gent Jr. with a, looks like a bent front end from here. And a very near thing for Gordon Clough. He getting around the wrong way. Managed to pull the car up. The poor Peter Gent Jr., he's bit of a victim here. And looks like front end damage will put him out of a restart. And you can see Peter Jett there not at all pleased with Dean McCallum waving the finger, so not happy with that coming out. So we'll see who this is going to be waved at. And the black flag going to Dean McCallum. He has pulled up on the infield and waved to one of our officials. But he's been given a very high attrition rate in this heat. Dean McCallum black flag, so it looks like it's a match race for 10 laps between Barry Valentino and Clayton Walker. Clean track, waving. And Walker on the outside, a nice run, picks up Valentino down the back straight. They are wheel to wheel, these guys. There might be only two of them, but they're fair dinkum. Walker lets it through by. Valentino comes back and picks the inside two wheels right up off the track. So Walker leading the way for Valentino. Walker in the Buick powered Alice. Valentino in a Fontana powered Alice. These cars very evenly matched. Oh, Walker's run very wide. Valentino picks up that one. He wasn't going to wait around. So Valentino leading the way now from Walker. These guys, both locals, know their way around this track. Clayton Walker, of course, former sprint car, leader sprint car racer, now in midgets. Valentino, 10 years of racing experience in speed cars. A former state champion. He won't hang around waiting for Walker to catch up. So Valentino on the Fontana. About halfway through the race. Valentino, Walker. Walker's trying the high line. See if they can pick up some extra speed. And Barry Valentino has found a quick way round. He's going for it. Second generation driver. Barry's father Barry raced off an houses back in the 1960s, both here in Brisbane and the Sydney Showground. The car painted very similar to his father's car. And car number 23, Barry Valentino, has cleared out. He'll make no mistakes from there. And I think Clayton Walker, with some problems, I see smoke coming out of the cockpit. Be very, very uncomfortable for Clayton. You can see he's button right off. And a serious problem there. You can see actually sparks coming out. So it looks like only one car to finish. Barry Valentino on his final lap. So Valentino down the back straight for the final time. And I tell you what, it's been a case of survival in this race. So Barry Valentino will be the winner and the only finisher. So Barry Valentino, only finisher and the winner in that one. Car number 23, and the time 2:27.42 for Barry, 2:27.42 for the 10-lap journey. He's probably looking around to see where everyone else is. As he pulls the car up, back to the pits. And I'm not too sure what... So we have Barry Watt, Kim Cockrell on the front, Neville Stanborough on the second row, Gary Wixton and Craig Smith, and Darren Power at the back of the field in car 59. So yellow lights are off, we're just about ready. Field bunches up, 10 laps. Lance will be keen to get some points on the board, and he missed out last round. We come around, speed coming up, so he breaks the green flag and we're racing. So Cockrell lands up the inside of Barry Watt, he moves up a spot. Also there, they've all moved past Barry Watt, he ran wide and lost all his spots, so it's Kim Cockrell, never Lance, Darren Stanborough, Barry Wixton, now Lance moves up the inside, gets past Cockrell, also down, Pete Cockrell was very, very close to the back straight fence. Fortunately, gathered all up and carried on. So Neville Lance leading Darren Power, Kim Cockrell, Stanborough, Barry Wixton, Craig Smith and Barry Watt. And Neville Lance was not hanging around. and gets it up a bit sideways actually. Remembering that this car's just been fitted with a new engine, some of the suspension settings may not be spot on, but he's not hanging around anyway. Lance Power, Kim Cockrell. Oh, and Stan Barrow all sideways, runs up the track and out onto the infield and parks it. So we've lost Stan Barrow. And Neville Lance continues to dominate this race. Lance, Power, Cockrell and Rickstead. Now halfway through, 5 to go. And Neville Lance powering away. It's 30 power forward, but heaps and heaps of horsepower. So Rickstead now has picked up a place on Ken Cockrell and moves up into third. And with 4 laps to go, he'll be trying hard to pick up in the second. But Neville Lance still leading. Power still second. Rickstead third. Ken Cockrell takes fifth and Barry Watt. White flag coming out for Neville Lance. He has dominated this event and will carry it through to the finish line. As he moves around to put Barry Watt a lap down. But Neville Lance the winner all the way from go to roll. First place Neville Lance. Second will go to Darren Power. Third to Barry Wickstead. Fourth to Kim Cockrell. Fifth place to Craig Smith. And 6th place will run through to Barry Watt. He can make it up across the finish line, which he will do following Neville Lance. So first place going to West Australia 14, Neville Lance. Second to Victoria 59, Darren Power. And third to Queensland 9, Barry Wickstead. The Mark George will start off position number 1. Andrew Wright right beside him. On the second row is Mark Glazebrook and Todd Bonless. And the third row, Ken Stanaway. I think he should be up there, that's correct. Ken Stanaway should be there. And he has Wanless beside him on the back row. We have Mark Glazebrook and Michael Davidson. You can see these guys have got the jitters. They want to get underway with this race. It's our last outing for tonight. Second last heat. And if anyone likes to get all the points for the heats on the conclusion of the program tonight, they will be pasted on the Speedcar office, which is located in the pits just behind the time clock, and all the points will be there so you can write them all down. As we come around now for the start of heat number 11, who's going to get the jump? Good even start. George is on the inside, right on the outside. Right goes with him, but George hangs on the inside. Further back, Wallace has moved to third. Stanaway's up to fourth. And the field tightly bunched as they go through turns 4. Right does not come by Wallace through, but Wallace goes through anyway. So the order is Mark George, Todd Wallace, Andrew Wright, Ken Stanaway, Mark Glazebrook and Michael Davidson. So now Wallace moving up beside Mark George and moves through to take the lead. So your new leader, Todd Wallace, Mark George second, Wright in third. Now Mark Glazebrook putting pressure on Ken Stanaway, moves through up in a fourth. This car very fast, 30 pounds. But Wallace has a good lead, building a nice buffer between himself and the field. Wallace, the Ross Cannon prepared, Clayton forward. Mark George and the Pontiac running second, Andrew Wright and a Gertie running third. And at this stage, Mark Glazebrook not making any ground on Andrew Wright. There's a bit of smoke coming out of the side of Andrew Wright's car, but doesn't seem to be coming out of the exhaust pipe, so maybe just a royal link. The further this race goes, the further Wallace goes in front. Todd Wallace in car number 3 leading the way. Mark George still in second and Wright moves up a little closer. And Ken Stanaway's engine not sounding 100%. Hopefully nothing too serious. As Michael Davidson pulls to the infield. But the Queenslanders doing well. First and second at this stage as Mark Glazebrook puts a challenge on Andrew Wright. Moves through up in the third spot. So Glazebrook third as Andrew Wright with a wild spin comes to a standstill on beside the racetrack. So Andrew Wright out of the event. Checkered flag going out for Todd Wanless for first place. Second to Mark George in 54. Third to number 10, Mark Glazebrook. And Ken Stanaway will come around to pick up fourth spot. And bad luck for Andrew Wright. So the placings for this heat number 11. First place will go to Todd Wanless in car number 3. Second is 54, Mark George. And third to 10, Mark Glazebrook from Western Australia. The time on our Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:24.93. 2-cylinder pushrod engine, 166 cubic inches in capacity, and around about 350 brake horsepower or two. So the field is set. Our pace car pulling infield. Eakins off the pole. John Shipway beside him. Piglamini towards the back. Fairly big job ahead of him from there, with Eakins on the front row. As we come around, just about set. This is the final heat tonight. 10 laps. We're set to go. And we're racing. Green lights on. Eakins straight to the front as we expected. John Davidson running wide. And the orange lights are flashing. Orange lights on. We'll see if someone's going to be in trouble here. Disappointing the finger at Warren Eakins, I believe. Obviously he went a little early. They must come to the white line that's on the track just before the start-finish line. They must come to that line together. So we'll do this again. Probably fortunate for John Davidson, who lost a lot of ground in the first turn. So giving John Shipway a bit of a hurry up. They come around now, speed comes up, and we're racing. And through the middle, or trying to go through the middle was John Davidson. And you can see there, bent front axle. And probably very fortunate not to hit the wall hard. Trying to go through the middle between Shipway and Eakins, and there just was not enough room. So Davidson climbing out of the car, obviously front end damage puts him out. We'll just wait and see if Stanaway's going to get a restart. Oh, sorry, Shipway gets a restart. So we'll remove that car and get this. So we're in for some fun and games here, I think, with these two on the front. Eakins and Figliamini there on the front. Van Ravel, Michael Hardis on the second row. Aaron Holtzwich there on the third row with John Shipway. And the car's been removed. So yellow lights. So Eakins and Figliamini, who's going to get the jump into the first turn? Eakins will be keen to pick up points and lower the colours of Figliamini in this one. We come around, this will be a very lightning quick start. Run away there side by side. And Figliamini just a fraction quicker, but Eakins forces his way up the inside. So Eakins leads down the back straight for the first time. Figliamini right on his tailpipe. Holtzwich up the third, Ravel in fourth. And Eakins showing a clean pair of heels as they clock on one lap. In fact, he's built up a big bump on Figliamini already as Van Ravel tries to get through on the inside of Holtzwich. Figliamini just sticking back for the moment, trying to find a fast line. So Warren Eakins, in car number 45, is really on the pace in this one. He's picked it up, he's laying it down, and he's showing the way to Figliamini. Aaron Holtzwich now is kicked clear of Ravel in third spot as Michael Hardis now moves up to challenge Ravel in car number 2. 7 laps to go, and Eakins about half a dozen car lengths lead on Figliamini. Now Michael Hardis up to fourth. Now Warren Eakins is not slowing down. He's taken this race up to Figlamini and he's showing the way. Warren Eakins, Mike Figlamini, and does a huge wheel stand. Did you see the front wheels of Figlamini's car about a foot in the air as he came out of turn 4? That's power. So Eakins now putting John Shipway a lap down. And Figlamini takes the high road. Trying to gain an advantage, cuts back to go past Shipway. Just a couple of laps to go now. Has Figlamini got anything left up his sleeve? We are about to find out. Eakins, Figlamini. Lap and a half to go. If Figlamini's going to do it, he's got to go now. White flag coming out for these two. Eakins and Figlamini. Down the back straight for the final timers. Figlamini, he's got it. He's going to come up hard on the inside. They touch. Eakins shuts the gate. And Figlamini could not go on with it. So the race win going to Warren Eakins. Second to Figlamini. Third place will go to number 77, Aaron Holbridge. And fourth to Michael Hardis. Fifth to Glenn Revell. And sixth will be John Shipway. So the final heat tonight has seen Michael Figlamini beaten by none other than Warren Eakins. So number 45, Warren Eakins first. 34, Michael Figlamini will run second. And car number 77, Aaron Holbridge from Western Australia, will run third. And the time 2:24.73. 2:24.73.
Not a happy man. Start running just as fast as you can. You see, you need a plan.
Not bad for his first run. And Andrew Barr's car in all sorts of strife. You can see actually flames coming out from under the bonnet. The boys quickly on the job there to put that out, so bad luck for Andrew.
To be upstanding.
One of the young gun drivers from Western Australia here this weekend is Scott Glazebrook. Scott, last weekend the Ray Revell Memorial, in the heats you had a terrific accident.
Glazebrook Ramsey, oh gee whiz, oh, big accident.
What's happened? What's transpired from there?
Well, basically we repaired the car on the next day, and over that week we repaired the car, come to practice on Wednesday night, and in our second test run we blew the motor up. So the boys have been working furiously to get it fixed. They're still going at the moment. I mean, what time is it now? It's 5:30 and they're still going, so hopefully we'll make it for our second heat.
Mate, how did you feel? I mean, the car had been repaired, you're out there going pretty well on the racetrack and the thing just goes bang and stops. How did you feel?
shattered, just totally shattered. The boys had put in so much work during the week that, I mean, they'd missed out on everything, like even sleep. They're just too tired, and yeah, I thought it was all over, but the boys are so keen, they're back there now. So.
Tell me, when I came down into the pits after practice, Wayne Cover had the car up in the air and was actually pulling the bottom off the engine at that stage, and you're on the phone ringing Perth for parts. Did you get everything you needed?
Yeah, pretty much. We had luckily we had a couple of crew coming over and stuff like that on like late planes and stuff, and they basically put everything in their suitcase, come over, and we had it the next day. So it's pretty lucky.
Mate, Wayne Covey, your car owner, how do you feel about him?
He's a top bloke. Those guys are so keen. Him and his brother Rod, they just don't give up. I couldn't imagine any other team to crash for. Those guys they just go off.
All right, mate. We hope it all stays together for you for the rest of the weekend, and best of luck.
Thanks for that, I need it. Cheers.
May have noticed from last night the white line has been moved further back towards turn number 4. This was at the request of the drivers. We had a few incidents right on the start-finish line, so they asked could the line be moved back. So that's been done. They helped them out. So our first heat just about set to get underway. Clayton Walker on the front, currently up on the top 5 in the points. Neverlands towards the back. And Scott Glazebrook desperate to get points as away we go. Green light's on and we're racing. First away up to the front corner is Darren Powell, and a bit of a touch there with Clayton Walker. They all carry on. Third place at the moment is Scott Glazebrook, and looking pretty good. Neverlands on the back of the wheel is already up at the 4th spot. A stimulating drive from Lance. He needs the points for this. Now looking up the inside of Scott Glazebrook, and Lance Powell is through. Up to the 3rd position. At the order of this present stage, Darren Powell, Clayton Walker, Neverlands, Scott Glazebrook, Alf Stanaway, Barry Wickstead, Peter Jen Jr., Andrew Buckner and Barry White. But Wickstead looking for the way up the inside of Alf Stanaway. Look at these 3 front runners, they're going for it. They need the points. Darren Powell from Victoria driving a Fontana powered beast and looking pretty good. A slight mistake there, and Walker nearly capitalised on it. The Lookie's ready to pounce on both of them. Neverlands as Walker runs very wide in turn 4, and a very slight touch there with Lance. Lance sitting on 802 points and needing more to get to the front of the field. About halfway through this race, Clayton Walker, the sandwich, the sandwich. Powell still leading and doing a good job. Look at Lance goes upstairs, looking for a run down there. Powell is very hard into turn 3. He came unstuck in that corner last night. Powell, Walker, Lance is still the order and very tight racing. Once again Walker shoves the wheels up the inside. So Powell's doing a great job as Alf Stanaway comes to a halt up in turn 4, and Lance picks up an advantage, but probably to no use as Alf Stanaway becomes stationary up in turn 4. See that the witch's hat has been placed on the track in the main straight. That's where the restart will take place. All the cars must go around the outside of that witch's hat in single line. He's capitalised on this situation to advance to the front, give him 3 heat wins, or can Darren Power hang on? Or can Clayton Walker get to the front? We're about to find out as we come up for the restart. And Power's away. Walker goes with him as Neverlands touches the wall right on the start-finish line. Walker looks up the outside. Can't go on with it. Glazebrook's still there in 4th spot and doing a great job. And Power runs wide and both Walker and Lance run through. So Power lost 2 spots from one fell swoop. Now Walker's got to contend with Lance. Clayton Walker, come on Queensland, a very for our local driver. He's got one hot contender to hold out for a couple more laps. Clayton Walker, Neverlands, Darren Power, Scott Glazebrook, Peter Jen Jr. and Barry Wickstead. Now Wickstead running inside Jen. But Clayton Walker's built a bit of a bumper on himself from Lance. Walker into Ross Keener, Gertie Powell-Ellis, holding out Lance. I'm sure Lance will be happy just to stay there and click second. That'll get him a good spot. And if Walker runs a little wide, but Lance not close enough to take advantage of it. Down Power still in 3rd, Scott Glazebrook 4th, Wickstead 5th, Jen 6th. Back to Andrew Barr and Barry White. But Lance with the white flag and the checkered flag coming out. So the win goes to Clayton Walker. Neverlands to be 2nd, Down Power 3rd. Scott Glazebrook 4th, Barry Wickstead 5th, Peter Jen Jr. 6th, Andrew Barr 7th and Barry White 8th. How about a hand for him? Clayton Walker, that'll give him a great boost to his points. First place to car 11, Clayton Walker. Second to 14, Neville Lance from Western Australia. And third to 59, Darren Power from Victoria. And the time for, I believe, would be 5 laps, 1:14.21. 1:14.21. My Speedcar drivers, hope you're enjoying the show, Russell, and good to see you here. First car away is Stan Burrow. But the order for this race, starting on pole, is 55, Craig Smith from Victoria. Beside him is number 10, Mark Glaze.
Another guy who's had some bad luck here at Archerfield for this championship, or actually last week as well, is Peter Jen Jr. Peter, tell us what happened last week during the Ray Ravel Memorial races.
Yeah, we'll just run in the heat and pretty fast racing up here, and come up, and it was the first heat. Unfortunately, we've driven all this way, and one of the guys in front of us broke a magneto drive and just stopped dead in front of me, and I was full noise, and we just went straight over the right-hand rear of the car.
Where's Santa, Barry Valentino? Get out of that! Boy, oh boy, was that lucky! Oh, jeez! Fire! Oh, Peter Jen. Had a big one. If we have a fire extinguisher handy, we have. You can see Dean McCallum got into trouble after that accident up in that corner. Peter Jen had nowhere to go. He's run over his wheels. And you can see he's straight out of the car. Peter Jen, how about a hand for him?
Of the car, and then ended it 7 times, which I thought put us out for the whole championship. I had to fly back home and do some work to help pay for all this, and my father stayed up here and rang me up Tuesday and said, I brought another car, we're back in the game, and my crew, Cliff, Wayne and my father just worked tirelessly for 3 days, and we've built this car. Went out last night and ran it, and everything was all right. It was a little bit different, but we got used to it, and we dropped the heat last night, which put us down, but we've got the car about where we want it now, so we're raring to go. We found a few problems that we had last night, which sort of wouldn't allow us to run as fast as we wanted to. So hopefully we'll get a good run in the heat tonight and come out of the maybe B main, but I hope on the back of the A main. And the way what's happening this weekend, it's just a matter of staying there until the last 10 laps and let's go. You know, some of these big boys might blow engines and that, and it could be just a lucky deal for someone to win. You know, so we'll just see.
Peter, you're running a stealth chassis last week, the one that you damaged. Did you manage to get one of the same type, or how hard was it to swap all the gear over from one car to the other?
Yeah, we got another stealth chassis that we brought out of Sydney. Fred Cooper from McNaughton Tyres helped us out. It's his old car, actually. It's Mark Cooper's old car. It's just an older one, but it had a Fontana in it, so the boys had to do a fair bit of changing and just rebuild the car with everything. Everything had to be changed. A lot of guys up in Queensland here have helped us welding and doing things. And but it's a stealth chassis, yes. It's almost identical. The car feels almost the same. But tonight we'll be able to see, because we can really hook into it tonight. You know?
Well, Peter, I hope you have a change of luck for tonight and everything goes to plan and you get a good finish in the end.
Yes, thanks very much.
So it looks like we're all set to go. So we'll have a start next time round. Craig Smith, been running midgets for around 20 years. Tonight driving a Volvo powered machine. And beside him, Mark Glazebrook, 21 years of age. He's a student. He's studying mining engineering at University in Perth. And he loves to race these cars by night. He's placed in the top 10 in the Australian title over the last 3 years, and I'm sure he might add to that figure. Coming around for the start, Mark George keen to get on the way. He needs a few more points to get him further up. Green lights on, we're racing, nice clean start. So Glazebrook goes to the front on the outside road. Now Stan Burrow trying to move up the inside as George looks for a run down the outside. And Kim Cockrell left hung out to draw out the fence. So Mark Glazebrook already building up a big bump on the field. But Craig Smith in second, Stan Burrow in third, Mark George fourth, and Kim Cockrell fifth. So Mark Glazebrook, you can see the power of this dirty power machine. He's just moving away from the field. He was the 10-lap record holder here up until last night. As Stan Burrow and Mark George both looking for a way past Craig Smith, but he's doing a good job. Unfortunately, just as I expect, moved a little wide, never left the opening, but he's closed it up and carried on. So Stan Burrow now sticks the nose and can't overrate up the inside. But his Volvo showing plenty of pace tonight. Mark Ollie, and a touch there between Mark George and Stan Burrow. Let Stan Burrow pass on the infield. The race carries on. So Mark George now up to third rider, and Ken Cockrell fourth. They try to remove Sam Barrow from the edge of the track, but still Mark Raycroft skips goes further and further away. For about halfway distance of this though, Craig Smith still second, Mark George third, Tim Cockrell fourth. So Mark George tendered down a challenge on Smith. Just can't seem to get close enough. That Volvo's going nice and quick. Oh, a slight mistake from Smith. Left the gap. So George takes advantage of it, moves up in a second. So the order now, Raycroft, George, Smith, and Cockrell. Mark Raycroft, 3/4 of a lap in front. There's 3 laps to go. And now Tim Cockrell trying to put a challenge on Smith. Very near picking out the start finish line between those two. So Tim Cockrell and Twin can't out distance. Trying desperately to move through on Smith and go and pick up some more points. And Mark Raycroft now putting a lap down as the white flag comes out. So Stu Smith and Cockrell at it. But Sagebrook now nearly 1 lap in front of them. These two having their own private battle. As Mark Raycroft comes around, he'll take the second flag and the win in heat number 14. As we wait for our remaining place getters to come through, and Stu Smith and Cockrell arguing over third. Mark George will be second, and Craig Smith will pick up third place in car 55. So just to confirm those placings for you, first place goes to car 10 from Western Australia. That is Mark Glazebrook. Second is 54, Mark George. And third place going to 55, Craig Smith of Victoria. Of course, fourth going to 16, Kim Cockrell. And the time is shown in our Centenary Real Estate time clock, 2:23.53.
Come on. You caught me once before doing that.
The second night at the Australian Speedcar Championships here at Brisbane National Speedway for the year 2002. And a lot of problems last night. One guy who had some success and a problem is Neville Lance. Neville, tell us what happened in Heat 2 for you.
Well, I mean, apart from a little bit of probably overdriving on my part, I sort of touched tight and sort of came off the back of his car and sort of rolled into the fence, and of course it broke the rear axle, which at first I didn't really think it was much of a touch until I looked down the left there and noticed the wheel sort of sitting on top of the Nerf bar, and thought, oh well, that's our race done on this one. So we dragged it back to the pits, and the crew and I made a big effort and put a brand new diff into it, got it all set up and got out in the last heat for the night and ended up winning it. So for us it ended up being a good result for a sort of a bad finish in the second heat, but hopefully tonight, I mean, if we can get a good finish in our fourth heat and maybe come out of position 5 or 4, I mean, we've got a chance. I mean, we're still hoping we can win it.
You mentioned it was a new diff. How new was the diff?
Oh, actually it was brand new. We sort of picked it up. Gordon Benny brought it up from New South Wales. I ordered it and said, look, just bring it up for the title, I might need it. Well, he delivered it about 6:45 that evening, and I needed it by about 8:15, so I was really lucky actually, otherwise we would have been out for sure.
Mate, 2 heat wins to you. You obviously adapted this track fairly quickly compared to the West, where you've got fairly big tracks. How have you found it here at Archerfield?
Oh, it's great little circuit actually. You know, it's a little bit different to the style of racing we have. We've got a more of a flowing style of racing. We're here, you know, you got to get out the corner really quick and sort of be a bit on the brakes, and it's sort of a bit of a drag race. And I probably, like in that second heat, I thought I was a little bit too keen, I think, and expected Todd to sort of flow on where, and that's his style of driving, which is fine, and I just wasn't aware of it and came off second best. But no, I actually like it. These are little short tracks, nice little bit of bank, and it's fun.
All right, mate, hope everything goes well for you for the rest of the night, and hope you come where you want to go in for the final.
Thanks very much.
Currently in the top 10 points. Warren Ekins, of course, equal on the top with 1102 with Todd Wanless, and both of these guys are in this heat. So it could be very interesting. Our pace car pulls to the infield. We're all set to go with heat 15. I'll take a last long look at the gauge, just make sure everything's in the right place. Touch the brake pedal, make sure they got brakes. As we come around out of turn 4, pace comes up a little, ready to race. Green lights on, and Michael Hardis goes to the front from the outside the front, and look at Alan Ellsworth down the outside as Ekins up the inside trying to get a run on Wallace there side by side, going into turn number 3, and look at this action. Now Ekins up the inside of Davidson, and Wallace goes with him, so Ekins voluntarily on the charge, straight past Michael Hardis. No chance of a comeback there. Eakins from the back to the front in 1 1/4 laps. What a sensational drive. The places at the moment, Eakins, hardest, Todd Wallace, Michael Davidson, Aaron Holswich, and Glenn Ravel still struggling with that misfiring engine. But Eakins, the further this race goes, the further he goes to the front. This is going to give him a great starting spot for the final. Todd Wallace trying everything to get past Hardest. Michael Hardest doing a great job in this twin cam Volvo. Down on horsepower to Wallace, but still holding his line and not giving in. This car sponsored by Q-Steel and Revolution Race Gear. Now Wallace shows the inside wheels but can't carry on with it. Eakins is now the length of the straight in front as Wallace mounts a challenge up the inside going into turn 3. Oh, and a touch there between Hardest and Davidson and also Aaron Holswich as Michael Hardest solders a flat inside back tyre. Bit of desperation there, I think. But of course, 4 cars to restart. The order being Eakins, Wallace, Holswich and Ravel, with 6 laps showing on our lap scoreboard. So yellow light's still on, so no restart at this point. Eakins will be keen to get on with this. He probably knows now that Wallace has just received the protest flag. I'm not too sure what that's about. I guess we'll find out as things go on. Obviously, he'll have to face the steward after these heats to answer some questions. That'll be vitally important to him. So Eakins to bring them in. Leading heat 15. Pace will come up soon. The green lights will come on and we'll be back underway. So Eakins, Wallace, Holswich and Ravel. And Eakins running a bit wide. He's in trouble. Eakins in trouble. He's dropped right back. He had a problem with this car last weekend and they looked like they had a cure, but it's a game fault that's coming out of that turn. So whether it's loaded up during the rolling laps, I don't know, but he's back under full steam now. But Wallace has gone away. He leads the charge. So it's Wallace, Holswich and Eakins now the orders. Eakins trying everything to get past Holswich. So Wallace in car number 3. Holswich runs a little wide. Closes up the gap. No room there for Eakins to get through. Eakins once again coming out of turn 4, trying desperately. The 4 times Australian champion will be keen to get up to second because of Wallace's scratching result that will give him the win. Charges in hard under Holswich. Here there's a tangle in turns 3 and 4. Eakins comes out in front. So the order now, Wallace and Holswich and Glenn Ravel still running. So 2 laps to go, I'd say. Wallace to get the white flag as he comes round to this corner. 1 lap to go for Wallace and Eakins and Holswich. So I'd say there'll be some questions asked from the stewards after this race. But it's all Todd Wallace coming out of turn 4. He will take the checkered flag. At first place to Todd Wallace. Second to 45, Warren Eakins. Third to 77, Aaron Holswich. And Glenn Ravel will carry through to pick up 4th spot. Okay, let's confirm those placings, and they will be provisional placings at this stage. First place to number 3, Todd Wallace. Second to 45, Warren Eakins. And third to 77, Aaron Holswich. And the time for those final few laps, 1 minute 26.46.
One of the Queensland drivers who's been performing fairly well here at the championships over this weekend has been Barry Wickstead. Barry, how's it going for you so far?
Barry, we're pretty happy. We had an engine sort of failure, put us back in the first one. But no, we're happy. We're up in the top 9, so we're about where we wanted to be at this stage.
Mate, the problem that you had easily fixed?
Yeah, mate, it was only a broken wire in the distributor.
And I'm pleased that it's all come together for you, and hopefully the rest of the weekend will go that way for you as well.
Thank you very much, Barry.
So, cars just formed up now, 7 cars. As the pace car moves to the infield, set to go. Valentino off the front, currently in 4th highest point score. He'll be keen to add to that. This heat vital, the last qualifying heat to determine the starters for the 56 running Australian Speedcar title. As we come out of turn 4, the field picks up speed and away we go. A nice even start. Valentino goes to the front from the outside position. Jimmy Fleming going with him on the outside. A great run for him. Down the outside of Van der Eyden he goes, and Michael Figliamini looking for the run up the inside of Van der Eyden. Van der Eyden fights back to the order. Valentino, Fleming, Van der Eyden, who now advances up for third. Dean McCallum running fifth, and Davidson in sixth. The Barry Valentino leads the way. Timmy Fleming in second, and Michael Figliamini running wide in turn four. Very uncharacteristic of him. So Valentino under all sorts of pressure from Jimmy Fleming. And Barry Valentino's been performing very well this week, and a former Queensland champion, driving up Fontana powered Alice, and he's going for it, holding a nice line. And I have a feeling that Michael Figliamini's got a problem. He seems to have trouble getting through turns 3 and 4. Got it right that time. So Valentino, Fleming and Figliamini. 6 laps to go showing on our scoreboard. So Valentino doing a great job holding out. Fleming has Figliamini. This straight train looks for a way up the inside of Fleming. Fleming shuts the gate. Now Fleming got an inside run up Valentino. And Figliamini goes with him, and Figliamini picks up Fleming as well in the one straight, picked up 2 spots. So Michael Figliamini leader. Fleming in second. Valentino third. Back to Anthony Van der Eyden, John Davidson and Dean McCallum. So Figliamini's now putting a gap on himself. Further back to the field. Jimmy Fleming in this Pontiac going particularly well. Had a bit of bad luck last night, but he's going to get some points tonight. So Figliamini coming round. About 2 laps to go. Figliamini, Fleming, Valentino with a bit of action further back in the field. With Van der Eyden in 4th, John Davidson 5th, and Dean McCallum about to join them. Davidson desperate to get through to pick up points. White flag out for Figliamini on his last. Fleming still second. Valentino still third. That should be the way they'll finish. So how about a hand for him? 3 times Australian champion Michael Figliamini takes the final heat. Jimmy Fleming second. Barry Valentino third. And still a battle on here for further places as we go back to Van der Eyden, John Davidson and Dean McCallum. So the final heat has been run and won by Michael Figliamini, car number 34, second to 43 Jimmy Fleming, and third to 23 Barry Valentino. One of the officials just line them up. We can get this race underway. The time ticking away. So it looks like Michael Davidson an on-starter, so the field is ready to go. This is the way it is. The yellow lights are still on. Pace car has left the track. It looks like that's the way they're going to start. Peter Gent, Barry Watt on the front row. Green lights on and we're running. So Peter Gent Jr. goes straight to the front. Barry Watt goes with him. Michael Hardison third. Anthony Van der Eyden fourth. The back to Andrew Barr, Scott Blaisbrook and Al Stanaway. So first, second and through to the feature race. This race over 10 laps. And Michael Hardis looking to improve his spots. It's Peter Gent Jr. is cleared out. Now Anthony Van der Eyden putting a challenge on Michael Hardis as they go wheel to wheel through turns 3 and 4. Now Scott Blaisbrook comes through. He's moved past Anthony Van der Eyden as Barry Watt's making that car about 10 feet wide, making it hard for everyone. So Blaisbrook goes upstairs, goes round the outside of Hardis and goes inside. What, there's going to be a crash here? And luckily they all got out of that. I don't know how, but they did. It looks like Michael Hardis left parked on the fence, but back there, obviously very little steering, so Just got the wheels straight, remove the car, that's it. Okay, we're ready, underway. Yellow lights are off, so drivers know this time round when they get to the Witches Hat, they're racing. You can see all the crews watching from the hill. This race rather vital to these guys to get into the main. Let's see how they go. So Peter Jan Jr. on the steam. Scott Glazebrook going with him. He has a look up the inside. Van der Eyden third, bar fourth. So at this stage, Jen, Glazebrook and Van der Eyden are into the main. As Peter Jan Jr. pulls away from the field, this car powered by a Gertie engine, and it's good to see him at the front after the bad luck he's had this week. From Victoria, former South Australian champion, Peter Jan Jr. Now Mark Glazebrook in the Wayne Cover-owned V6 Pointer, trying to make ground on Jet, but he knows the position he's in at the moment. He's well and truly in the main, so he might just take it easy, maintain his position. So Jet, Glazebrook and Van der Eyden about equally spaced. About halfway through this race, 5 laps showing on the clock. So Peter Jen, Scott Glazebrook, Anthony Van der Eyden are the three at this stage. So Peter Jen Jr. doing a good job in car number 33. The Gertie engine and a Stealth chassis. The car that he only actually arrived here in Brisbane on Wednesday. Pete has a very unusual tow vehicle that he uses for his car. It's an old Arbor truck they use for carrying money. It's very strong and the car fits nicely inside. The red lights are on. Red lights are on. We have Anthony Van der Eyden is upended. I missed that. Upended in a big way in turn 2. It looks like full red light situation. So just rolling that car back nice and easy. I don't see any marks on the fence. I'm not too sure if he actually hit the fence. Jason, you might be able to update us if we have a replay there. If he's finished up, so bad luck for Anthony. Obviously all right. Has a look at the car, more concerned with the car than himself. Michael Figliamini and Todd Wanless have tied on the top of the tree at 1,503 points each. So a coin was tossed to see who would start out of 2 and who would start out of 1. And I would say Todd Wanless won the toss because he's going to start out of 1. So he's only got 1 round to get through, so he'll either start 1 or 2 in the final. So we're just waiting on Mark Glazebrook to come out to see the Glazebrook family there pushing the car. His mother Mandy and his father Ron. 3. This car is powered by a Gertie engine, this particular one of Mark Glazebrook's, running in a Murphy frame. Mark George driving a Pontiac powered car and a Beast chassis, so good combinations here. Mark gives the wave to the truck for a start. He's ready to go. Mark Glazebrook, that is. Mark George also ready to go. So both cars up and running. Just 2 laps. So this will tell us who starts out of 8 and who starts out of further up. Now the highest point scorer of the 2 has the choice of starting position. So that leads that Mark Glazebrook, having the higher points of these 2 drivers, will start at his choice, that he's chosen the inside. So they're coming around nice and steady. They must be side by side as they get to our white starting line. As they come around, we'll see who's going to get the jump on the line. They're together. Good start. Mark George with a very slight advantage, but Glazebrook charges up the inside. George covers him on the outside, closes up the inside line. Charging down the back straight, these 2 young drivers. Mark George leading Mark Glazebrook, and Glazebrook gets a bit out of shape in turn 3. And it's lost a lot of ground, so Mark George is 54 leading away on their final lap. Mark George down the back straight for this last run. George leading Gracebook. Gracebook charges into turn 3, trying to come back at him. That just runs out of time right on the start-finish line. So, Mark Gracebook eliminated. He will start out of position 8 in the feature race. Mark George advances to the next run. This time he's up against car number 11, Clayton Walker, also from Queensland. Clayton Walker driving the Ross Keener-owned Buick Gertie powered Alice. And I don't know whether Clayton's done much of this kind of pole shuffle racing. It is unique. As he moves around, we'll wait and see which position Mark George has chosen. Looks like he's looking at the inside, but Clayton hasn't got to him yet, so we'll see Clayton Walker going to the outside. Because he's the next highest point scorer. And a green light's gone very smartly there. That was a bit tricky. So Walker on the outside, George on the inside. As they go side by side down the back straight, Walker draws away. So Walker leading George out of turn 4 and around the clock up a lap. Clayton Walker. So Walker and George, that's the way they're still running. No change. Walker has a 2-car length lead. They charge down the back straight for the final time. And it looks like Clayton Walker will advance to the next spot. And that's the way it will end. So Mark George to start out of position number 7 as our next combatant comes out, car number 23, Barry Valentino. So Valentino up against his fellow statesman, Clayton Walker. Valentino driving a Fontana powered Alice, a similar chassis that Clayton Walker uses. So Barry Valentino just charging around to take up his spot. So it looks like Valentino to the outside. Just see what happens here. Valentino on the outside. They're side by side, and we may even get a start this time round. They're nice. There, nice and side by side, away we go. Nice even start as they charge into turn 1. Walker on the inside, got a good rod. Valentino comes back on the outside. Oh, spectacular length for Valentino as he screams down the outside line. Walker going with him. This is great racing. Out of third 4, they're still side by side. Down the main straight away they go on their last lap. Walker on the inside, Valentino on the outside. Side by side they go. Looks like Valentino's with a slight gap on Walker as they come out of turn. And Valentino crosses it up and he'll take the win. So Barry Valentino defeating Clayton Walker, but what a great race. How about a handful of Speedway fans? Top speed car racing. So Barry Valentino carries on and Clayton Walker starts out of position number 6. Next driver out we have car number 14, all the way from Western, Neville Lance. Big Red Nev they call him. As you can see, no side panel on the side of his roll cage. You can see him at work behind the wheel, and a spectacular driver, Neville Lance, says he's going to the outside, Valentino to the inside. We'll see how they go from here. What a spectacular race that last one was. That was great racing. This is the sort of kind of racing this brings about these short races. Nice and level they are as they come around the corner. The speed will come up shortly. They come up. They're level, they're racing. And on the inside, Valentino with the buffer, but Lance has gone around him. Valentino was very smooth out of the turn on the wide line. It's gone to the front of the lead Valentino into turn 3. So it's Lance leading Valentino. The way he's going, I think that's the way it will end up. Neville Lance, all the way from WA. This car powered by a 34 engine and a Murphy frame. And flying tonight. So the win will in fact go to Neville Lance. Barry Valentino second, so Barry Valentino to start out of position 5. Next car out, car number 45 from the Northern Territory, 4 times Australian champion, Warren Eakins. And he knows how to race these events. He's done a lot of these over the years. And 2 drivers who have a great respect for both of them, for each other I should say. They've been racing each other for many, many years, and they'll enjoy this contest. Very friendly rivalry. They're great mates off the racetrack. So Eakins in a Fontana Murphy, and Neville Lance in a Ford Murphy. 2 very similar cars built by Jeff Perth. So very even coming around the corner. I'd say we're going to have a start. Green lights on, speed comes on, and away we go. And Lance just touches the fence, but he won't back off. It's the kind of race car driver he is, so Eakins leads him down the back straight for the first time. They're charging 3 and 4. Eakins leads the way, Lance right on his tailpipe. They're flying down the main straight. Eakins well and truly on the pace. He's a man on a mission tonight. So now Eakins has built up a big buffer. Eakins will lead the way out of the final corner and go on to win this round on the pole shuffle. So Eakins advances. Neville Lance will start out of position 4 in the Australian title. Next car out should be car number, looks like car number 30, number 3 actually. Todd Bomber's coming out. It's a different order than what I had. So Todd Bomber's coming out, and he's to race off against Warren Eakins. Okay, apparently the reason for Wanless coming out is they did in fact toss between Michael Figliamini and Michael won it, so that's the reason why Wanless is out now. So a bit of toing and froing here because this is a final run before we get into the final against Figliamini. So I'd say a little bit of psyching going on here. Wanless will hang back and try and get a runner. But now they've lined it up side by side. Wanless on the outside, Eakins on the inside. Eakins' car powered by a Fontana. Wanless is by a Gertie Ford as they come out of the corner. They're charging up. Green lights on. Eakins caught napping, so they've allowed this one to carry on. So yellow lights now on. Yellow lights on. The Chief Steward not happy with the start. And Wanless warning, if he does it again, he'll be eliminated. So the finger's been pointed. Wanless has been told, come to the line together. This white line here just coming out of turn 4. They must come to that line together. So Wanless and Eakins, they're playing their games. It's the kind of racing this is. It's a real psyching match. One will go up, one will drop back, the other goes up and drops back. Here they go, they're nice and steady and side by side. Let's see what happens. They're on the charge. A nice clean start. And on the outside, Wanless has gone on with it. Eakins comes back on the inside with a brilliant piece of driving. Trips up the back. Wanless goes round the outside. They're still at it. Charging into turn 3 on this first lap. It's Wanless leading Eakins by a narrow margin. Wanless now leads away over Warren Eakins. Eakins not giving up. But down the back straight, it's Wanless leading it. I don't think he'll be beaten from there. He eases off slightly to turn 3 to cover the inside line. So Todd Wanless going on to the final encounter, which eliminates Warren Eakins. That puts Warren Eakins out of position number 3, and not a bad starting position at all in a 40-lap final. So the round is between Todd Wanless and Michael Figliamini, and this is over a 3 encounter, so the best 2 out of 3. They'll swap starting positions. And Michael Figliamini is also very experienced at this kind of racing. This will decide who starts. They're both obviously starting on the front row, but one will start on pole and the other will start on the outside. As Sean Kelly just moves out and gets them to ease it up. And the green light was on. That was a bit unfair. Todd Wanless still putting his visor down, so wasn't ready. So once again we line them up. Okay, they're going to go another lap I think. Yeah, green light was on. Wanless caught napping again. They're trying to get these races completed. They must be on the ball and ready to go. Okay, we might have it right this time. They must be ready for the green. It looks like they're set. And this time Wanless goes. So Wanless going early. Figliamini missing it. But Figliamini's still in there. Wanless and Figliamini. Figliamini closes it right up in turn 3. They charge down to 8 straight. And Figliamini with a brilliant inside run. How's that for a piece of driving? Wanless comes back. He hasn't given up either. He charges back inside. A very slight touch as they come into the final corner. Side by side they come out of the turn. And Wanless would win it, I think, by a whisker. That was sensational stuff. 2 brilliant race car drivers. And I'm not too sure who's won it. If we can get a sign from the top, we'll find out who's won it, because boy oh boy was that close. Righto. They're going to do this again yet. It's not all over yet. But what sensational racing from both of these guys. They're out there for keeps. No beg your pardons, no quarter asked or given. So this time, Figlamini on the inside, Wallace on the outside. And away we go. Steady as they go. Let's see if we'll get a start this time around. They look pretty good to me. They're both keen to go. And on the pedal. Once again, Wallace got the advantage. Once again, Figlamini comes up the inside. And Figlamini will not give in, as you can see for yourself. He'll charge up. Charge. Very, very close indeed. Just touch the brakes. Well, Wallace leads the first lap. Figlamini does the same. Charges up the inside. That's a beautiful piece of driving. And once again, Wallace comes under him there. Touch and go there. Figlamini back up the inside. What a beautiful run. Has Wallace got the run on the outside? I don't know. Who's got it? Who's got it? It was so close. I don't know who's won. Can anybody tell me? What a sensational piece of driving from both drivers. Do we need a third contest? Well, let's wait and see. I don't know who's got it, either one yet, so it looks like there is a third contest. So obviously they won a piece. Boy, oh boy, this is sensational stuff. We've waited for this and here it comes. Both top class drivers putting it on for young and old. Wallace on the inside this time, Figlamini on the outside. What will happen this time? The crowd's well and truly on the move. This is good racing. Let's see what we go. And Wallace on the inside gets the run. And yellow lights are on. The steward not happy with the start. Wallace going early. Wallace going early. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Gary Mulcahy going out on the track right in front of Todd Wallace and telling him just come in easy. They're both jittery, these guys. They're top class drivers. Of course, Michael Figlamini, 3 times Australian Speedcar champion. Todd Wallace, the 1996 Australian Sprint Car champion. So we'll see if we get this right this time. Steady as they go, nice and easy, nice and easy. This looks good. We're racing once again from the inside. Wallace goes on. Figlamini charges up the inside. Oh, the touch. Oh, there, that's finished it. So Wallace has left parked beside the fence. And that will be very interesting to see what happens. We'll leave that one to the stewards to decide. I don't know if there's any damage to the Wallace car. We'll wait on word from the officials about this. We'll see if we can get a word from Gary Mulcahy. It'll depend on whether Todd Wallace can restart. Now the word is if Todd Wallace can restart, there'll be a restart on that one. They're just pushing the car backwards. Line it up. I see Michael Truscott down there, the Joe Holland just checking the car over to make sure there is no problems with it. Obviously safety paramount in these cases. Last night Neville Lance did a similar thing and broke the back axle, so they will make sure that car is A1 race-worthy before it started. Okay, let's see, this car will go. Nice piece of driving from Todd to pull it up. And it's away. Doesn't sound the best, sounds a bit rough. It looks like it's had a bit of a touch in the tail. You can see there the rear crash bar has been pushed sideways where it's touched the fence, so that's it. This is it. We'll see who gets the advantage. So I said no quarter asked, no quarter given. As they get steady coming out of turn 4. And we're racing. Once again, Wallace gets quickly off the mark. And I'm sure he's going to protect the outside line, which he's done, so Wiggins goes up. Sorry, Figlamini goes upstairs. And all very close there in turns 3 and 4. Wallace keeps it tight on the inside. He won't let Figlamini sneak through real easily, I don't think. Figlamini can't get through that corner either. So down the back straight for the last time. Figlamini's lost a bit of speed there. So Wallace comes out of the turn. And looks like Wallace will go and take the win. Figlamini runs second. So the final two starting spots will be starting from pole position, car number 3, Todd Wallace, and starting out of position 2. Car number 34, Michael Figlamini. So we're going to see all this again and much more when we come trackside with the 56th running of the Australian Speedcar Championship very, very shortly. We'll have a quick word with Todd. He's just trying to get his helmet off for us, so have a quick word. Obviously a great psychological advantage for Todd to be off pole. Todd, a very hard contest, that last one. Congratulations to you.
Well, when you're racing a guy like Mike Figlamini, he's raced all over the world. He's a champion sprint car driver, definitely one of the world's best midget drivers. He doesn't have an edge, and he taught me a bit out there, but I'm going to take what he taught me into the feature and just hope we get there.
Mate, congratulations on pole, and all the Queenslanders are running with you for the Australian title. Best of luck.
Thanks very much. I think I ran out of fuel there that last lap, so I just had to keep nursing the car, and I see it was the fastest time, so we better go and put some fuel in the car.
Good on you, Todd. Best of luck. There you go. He's racing around and still watching the... That's ability for you. Okay, we'll be back soon, but the all-important 56th running of the Australian Speedcar Championship. Back to you, Jason. Starting on pole, of course, is car number 3, Todd Wallace. Beside him, 34 from Western Australia, Michael Figlamini. Out of position 3 from the Northern Territory, 45, Warren Eakins. Out of position 4, 14 from Western Australia, Neville Lance. On the third row, Queensland 23, Barry Valentino. Out of position 6, Queensland 11, Clayton Walker. Out of position 7, Queensland 54, Mark George. Out of position 8, West Australia 10, Mark Glazebrook. Out of position 9, West Australia 77, Aaron Holswich. Out of position 10 is Victoria 59, Darren Power. Position 11 is Victoria 55, Craig Smith. Position 12 is Queensland 9, Barry Wickstead. Position 13 is West Australia 61, Dean McCallum. Out of position 14 is Queensland 12, John Davidson. Position 15, West Australia 43, Jimmy Fleming. Position 16 is Queensland 18, Ken Stanaway. Position 17, South Australia 16, Kim Cottrell. Position 18, New South Wales 98, Glenn Ravel. Out of position 19 is 33, Peter Gent Jr. from Victoria. Position 20, West Australia 6, Scott Glazebrook. Out of position 21 is Queensland 71, Andrew Barr. You just see the crews coming around to line up the cars, and we'll have the drivers coming out very soon. McCallum and 12, John Davidson. In the following Jeep, we'll have Victoria 55, Craig Smith, and Queensland 9, Barry Wickstead. So give them a wave and a cheer. I'd like to see the people. In the next Jeep, we have West Australia 77, Aaron Holswich, and Victoria 59, Darren Power. See Jimmy Fleming and Ken Stanaway there comparing notes in the back of the Jeep. Give them a wave. Johnny Davidson and Dean McCallum, the young charger from Western Australia. Barry Wickstead and Craig Smith. Give them a cheer. Done a good job just to be here. Following that, we have one of our trophy girls. Give them a wave. Also our next trophy girl, Robin. Good to see Robin here tonight on the hard-working staff here at Brisbane International Speedway. Also see Todd Wallace's car has just come out onto the track. They've done a fair bit of work on that car since the pole shuffle. The tail was all pushed in. There was some concern that with the tail pushed in like that, they wouldn't be able to get all the fuel in for 40 laps. So they've actually used an air compressor to pump air into the tank to push it out. So the tank's back out where it should be, and the crash bar's back on. They're good to see the car fronting up. Next driver's coming out. We have car number 54, Mark George, and number 10 will be Mark Glazebrook. As these drivers come around, and as they vacate the Jeeps, they will receive their Australian Speed Car Control Council medal for qualifying for the Australian Championships. Nations have medalled, and 14, his good mate Neville Lance from Western Australia. And just waiting on the lap. I'd just like to thank some of the other sponsors who've helped us out with this championship, besides the very nice people, Rick and Lisa from Retrovis and Carindale. There's quite a few other people who've put up money, because during this race there'll be $100 per lap given to a specific driver, and it will vary through the race as to which position it goes to. ABC Auto Gear, Allmac Plant Hire, American Tyre and Racing Service, Az Engineering, Bobcat Barry, Ian Boscher Race Parts, Stanborough Automotive, Caltex Clearview and Adelaide, Carmen's Auto Trimmers at Slacks Creek, Colour Scan, Wayne and Wendy Cover, Day and Night Mechanical at Logan Village, Eastside Auto Electrics in Bundaberg. Thank you to Ross Miller. I know you're here tonight, Ross. EHS Landscaping at Browns Plains, Shoreline Body Repairs, Taylor and Cook Real Estate at Logan Village, Tile Pro, that's Denny Palmer, Tipper Hire at Logan Village, Trade Tyres Logan Village, Anthony and Janice van der Eyden, Paul and Nikki Gislingham, Microphone Turbochargers, the Vintage Speedcar Association, Clayton and Leisha Walker, Murray Walker, Watts Bus and Coach Work, and Russell Woolley, the great supporters of this event. So just waiting on the rest of our drivers to make their way around, vacate their cars. And we have a special person here tonight to start this event, a man well known in speedcar racing circles for many, many years. He was Queensland's first national speedcar champion going back in 1969. We'll say hello to none other than Blair Shepherd. Good evening, Blair.
Good evening, and good evening all you good people out here. What a great night.
Blair, you're a midget driver for quite some years. You brought a lot of excitement, a lot of speedcar and speedway fans. How's it like to come back after all these years?
It's awesome, it really is. I mean, it's just so great to see this terrific venue out here, and such great competitors. I mean, it's just stunning for me to sit up there in the stands and watch it. Breathtaking.
Blair, when you raced speed cars, there was no roll cages and very little safety equipment. I mean, if you're racing your car today, would you like to get in amongst it again?
Well, first and foremost, there's no chance I'd ever want to get in one of these. They're going too quick. No, I think it must be a real buzz. It must be a total buzz. I was talking to Todd Wandles out in the pits a while ago. I used to race with his dad, and you know, it's just so different to when we were there.
It'd be great to have you here. We'll get back to you in a moment. We have an official duty for you to perform as we get these cars and drivers in and buckled up, ready to go racing. We've got 40 laps of racing to go. Day one, Freddie Keener. Just got all these drivers in and buckled up.
Australian Speed Car Championship. Start your engines.
And well done to Blair Shepherd, a man who knows all about speed car racing. The vintage cars fire up. Jimmy Holden leading Freddie Keener. Engines all firing. See there, Jimmy Fleming still trying to make some adjustments to his car. He's had some problems after the accident last night. Just getting the rest of these cars fired up here. A big field, 21 cars. This magnificent event. History of this event dates back to 1935 when Bob Finlay was the very first Australian speed car champion at Olympic Park in Melbourne. And ever since that, this title has been held. A great tradition, a great motor racing event. Very proud to be held here at the Brisbane International Speedway. And on behalf of the Australian Speed Car Control Council, to find the guy who's supposed to be beside and behind, Michael Figliamini boot. And see Jimmy Holden there, 1985. Australian Speedcar champion. I think if we gave him half a chance, he'd line up for this race. So Barry Valentino through, just waiting on Clayton Walker as he makes his way through the very crowded racetrack. They're packing the track down, this track in magnificent condition tonight. And a mark of tribute to Peter Winton, who worked so hard to get it right, and also Crispy, a greater driver. So now, Clayton Walker moving up. Fourth row we'll see Mark George and Mark Glazebrook. Clayton Walker coming through now, Mark George is there. The fifth row, Aaron Holswich in 77 and Darren Power in 59, so they're set and ready. 55, Victoria Craig Smith and 9, Barry Wickstead, they're there. 61, Dean McCallum and 12, John Davidson, they're set. Next we have 43, Jimmy Fleming and 18, Kenny Stanaway. 16, Kim Crockville and 98, Glenn Revell. And from the repercharge we have 33, Peter Gent Jr., 6, Scott Glazebrook, and 71, Andrew Barr. So they're all locked in and ready to go. Our emergency drivers, Michael Hardis and Anthony van der Eyden, will park on the infield if there's any incident in the first lap and any cars are out, they can be called upon. So Freddie Keener in USA 1 leading this field around. Jimmy Holden joins him. How about a hand, Speedway fans? These are the finalists for the 2002 Australian Speedcar Championship. A fine field, some great drivers out there. As Freddie Keener pulls in. Jimmy Holden will pull in offshore next, and then we'll get underway with this event. 40 laps of very, very hard racing. Jimmy Holden's in, I'd say next time around we're going to be having a green light. So we'll just have a look at the gauges. The brake pedal will make sure everything is as it should be. So come around and get ready for this, the Australian Speedcar Championship. As they come out of turn 4, we wait for the green light, and we're racing straight to the front. Goes Scott Wallace, Piglamini going with it as they negotiate the first turn, further back in the field. John Davidson already picking up a couple of spots, and problems for Aaron Holsbridge. As the order at this stage is Wallace, Piglamini, Neville Lance, Warren Eakins, Clayton Walker, Barry Valentino, and Mark Glazebrook. They negotiate the back straight. And already Scott Glazebrook's picked up 4 or 5 spots at the back. Now Lane's putting pressure on Piglamini. I think that Eakins is trouble already. Is having problems. He dropped a lot of speed in car 45. But it's all Todd Wallace playing a clean pair of heels to Mike Piglamini. As Neville Lance is holding up the third. Eakins 4th. Walker 5th. And Valentino falling into the clutches of Mark Glazebrook. But Todd Wallace playing a great run at the front of the field. That's where he wanted to stay. And further back we look at some of these placings as Darren Power and Barry Wickstead have a bit of a coming together. Wallace picking up white traffic very soon, and that will make it very interesting for him because he has Piglamini right on his tailpipe. And a problem up in turn 4. As we have Glenn Revell coming to a standstill. Glenn Revell to a halt. Conditions. Still a very, very packed field of cars. Wallace will be keen to get a clean start away from here to try and put some ground on Piglamini. As we come around for the start, and Wallace is on the go pedal. Run away. The cars must go single file. Paso Witch's hat. So Piglamini now. As Wallace charges away. Piglamini chasing harder now. Eakins putting pressure on Neville Lance as they charge down the main straight. Clayton Walker running 5th. The 2 Keener cars in the top 5. Walker Slake Robin runs wide and picks it up and keeps going. But Wallace is building a nice bumper between him and the rest of the field. Eakins has dropped off the pace a little. Falling back behind. Neville Lance. Todd Wallace still leading the way for Queensland with 33 laps on the clock. And yellow lights are on. We have an incident somewhere I can't see for what's happened over here. Looks like we have a wheel off the car. Looks like Glenn Revell pulling out. Not too sure if it's the car that's lost the wheel, but we might get a start this time round. Wallace puts the visor down, he's ready to go. Brings them in fairly slowly. And puts the foot on the gas pedal and we're underway. So Wallace for Figliamini, Neville Lance and Eakins. They all charge down the back straight. Mark Weisel looking for a way past Valentino back in the pack. Mark George is there, Gary Valentino, Gary Wixner I should say. But Todd Wallace building a good buffer again. Each time he seems to be able to move away from the field. As Eakins tries to make ground on Neville Lance. So the crowd up in the VIP booth tonight will be crossing their fingers and their toes and everything else. But Todd Wallace driving the Ross Peter Road. Gertie Ford, who leads the field at this point of the race. And lots of action back in the pack. Dundee McAllen trying to put a move on Darren Power. Wallace, Figliamini, Lance, Eakins and Walker. The top five as Mark Weisel trying ever so hard to get past Valentino. Gary Wixner dropping a couple of positions in the back straight. And Mark Weisel in trouble. Goes off the track and back on. Lucky to get away with that. As Darren Power moved him up track and up another spot. But Todd Wallace coming around, once again catching up on lap traffic. And Jimmy Fleming doing great guns around the outside of the track. And James coming out the side of Barry Wickstead's car. So Wallace moving up to put a lap on Craig Smith. Smith does the right thing and stays out of the way. So now Figliamini's turn, coming up behind Craig Smith. And he has Neville Lance right behind him. He picks him up without any problems. The two Valentino cars running one behind the other, back in 6th and 7th. 23 and 54. 25 laps to go, so Todd Wallace still leading this event and doing a fine job. As Michael Figliamini gets a bit crossed up in turn 4. But Figliamini is not to be discounted yet. This race still has a long way to go. As Barry Wickstead pulls out of the event with a big punch up the tail, you can see there for yourself. So it's going to get interesting now as Todd Wallace starts to pick up the main body of the field. Moves inside Scott Glazebrook and carries on. As Warren Eakins starts still trying to come through. The rest of the field moves through to put a lap on Craig Smith. You can see the jostling at the front there between Valentino George, Dean McAllen, Mark Glazebrook. Nearly running off the racetrack. But Wallace at half distance, 20 to go. 20 down and 20 to go. Wallace, Figliamini. They go back to Neville Lance, Warren Eakins, and Clayton Walker. He's doing a great job for a short amount of time he's been racing a Speedcar. Jimmy Fleming trying everything to get around Darren Power. So now Todd Wallace moves up to put a lap on Peter Jen Jr. And this is the sort of time that both Figliamini and Eakins will come into play because they are excellent in traffic. Wallace is showing his nose up at Smith, and Smith does the right thing. Moves over, lets him through. Figliamini following. 17 laps to go. So Wallace and Bigliamini, Lance and Eakins in the traffic. And Clayton Walker still fifth. So Barry Valentino's dropped a few spots. It looks like Jimmy Fleming in trouble up against the fence in turn 2. Going to be very difficult for him to get down off the fence. From there, may bring on a yellow line. We'll wait and see, which will close the field right up. And we have a yellow line, as I predicted. So Jimmy Fleming just, as try as he could could not get down off the fence. Too many cars on the track. So as we see it, 15 laps, so it doesn't count. So orange light should be ready to go off, I think, or there's obviously still somebody out of position. Vital for these positions to be right. With 16 to go. Looks like they're set and ready. Orange lights off. Todd Wallace gives it a squirt to make sure everything's still working. Bigliamini, Lance and Eakins will continue their battle momentarily. They come around for this restart. 16 laps to go. Wallace puts the foot down and we're underway again. Open traffic for the running group. So from here we'll go to the side as Mark George now moves up on the tailpipe. Clayton Walker. Wallace, Bigliamini, look at Eakins on the inside, trying for a move on Lance, and Eakins is in trouble, gathers it up and keeps going, but nearly brought the field unstuck. That problem with his car is still there. So Todd Wallace, Bigliamini will start to come into his own shortly. The final 10 laps, it'll be all out, and Wallace in trouble. Bigliamini through. I missed what happened, but made a mistake and Bigliamini's gone past. So Bigliamini, the new leader. Wallace next, then Lance. Warren Eakins, Clayton Walker. And young Dean McCallum's made a huge move through the field. He's up in the 6th spot. So can Wallace come back from there with 12 laps to go? Now Neville Lance also, I believe the track getting a bit stuck up in turns 3 and 4. These guys would have set their cars to come on in the final parts of the race. Bigliamini, Wallace, Lance and Eakins. This order has remained unchanged from the start. As now Dean McCallum puts a move on Clayton Walker and moves up to 5th spot. A good move for McCallum, this young guy from West Australia. So it looks like his car also set up to come out in the final parts of the race. Eakins once again moves up to Neville Lance. So Bigliamini doing a great job in front. He made the most of that chance that he had. The camp from WA will be ecstatic if he can go on to win his 4th Australian Speedcar title. As Eakins has put a move on Lance and got away with it. So Warren Eakins now at the 3rd spot. All the action starting to happen this final 10 laps. Also now, Neville Lance falling back in the clutches of Dean McCallum. As Michael Bigliamini moves up to put a lap down on Craig Smith once again. With 6 laps to go. This may be the opportunity that Wallace has been waiting for. With any hesitation, he'll go for it. So now, the young boy from West Australia, Dean McCallum, is up to 4th spot. He's picked up Neville Lance. This is a great drive from the youngster. Now Eakins about to put a lap on Craig Smith and a bit of a touch there. He goes around him. Dean McCallum follows him. Lance also coming up. And now Wallace, he's charging hard. He's not going to give this up too easily. Bigliamini and Wallace, the final couple of laps. Wallace trying hard up the inside. Now McCallum also is up to Warren Eakins. What a fine finish this is going to be. It's still anybody's race. Wallace just trying ever so hard down low. 1.5 laps to go, I believe. They'll come round to get the white flag. The white flag going out for Michael Figliamini. Dean McCallum flipping the front wheels off the track to try and get to Warren Eakins. Figliamini charging down the back straight into the final turn. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Speedway fans, put your hands together. The 2002 Australian Speedcar winner, championship winner, Michael Figliamini. Todd Bottle second, Warren Eakins third, Dean McCallum fourth, Neville Lance fifth, Clayton Walker sixth. And what a terrific contest that was. And all credit must go to Michael Figliamini. His fourth Australian Speedcar title. Put your hands together. An excellent drive. He picked his timing spot on. The car was perfect.
Anyhow, I'd like to thank all the people that have helped me out, Jeff Murphy, Jeff Flake, Peter Q Builders, and Rob Hayward, Mechanical, Ipswich Ice, all the guys that give me a hand in this, been fantastic. Really enjoyed my time here, and congratulations to the other players.
Congratulations, Warren. If you'd like to take your place on the dice there. Second place tonight. And you thought he was never going to do it. And what a magnificent drive nonetheless. Second place tonight going to Todd Blondis. Congratulations, Todd. Thank you. Well done, Jackie. Get your stash, trophies and Robin. Very nicely too.
What do you tell us?
What are you going to tell us? That's the first thing you said.
Thanks very much, Rick.
Todd, Nelly there.
Hey, that's what champions are made of. Just talking to Finn. You know, fixed it. He would have just asked me, but anyway, he's an absolute legend. Make one tiny mistake and he finds you, and that's what champions do. I thought we had it, but we just weren't good enough. I'd really like to thank our crew. Ross Skinner had all the faith in the world in us, with the brand new motor and the car, and Greenie give us a hand, and Chris's wife, and my wife for putting up with us going to races every time, and the crowd just fantastic. The response we've got tonight, it's just great having an Australian title in town and having champions like Warren Eakins and obviously the great Mike Figliamini here to contest this Australian title. I'd like to thank Rick from Retrovision for fantastic support and hopefully plenty more support in the future, and John Kelly for getting this race on, and everybody else. If I've forgotten you, I'm sorry. Metal Corp, my sponsors, my personal sponsors, Metal Corp, and also my own company, ABC Auto Gear. We've got a special one tomorrow, tour sale. Thank you.
Congratulations, Todd. Well done. Now we move on to the man who's done it before, 3 times before. This makes 4 Australian championships for this great champion from Western Australia. Please put your hands together for the 2002 Australian Speedcar champion, Michael Figliamini. Just a quick word, Bob. First of all, before you get your trophy, congratulations, outstanding drive.
Thanks very much. I'd like to congratulate all the pace getters, particularly Todd. I thoroughly enjoyed racing against Todd over the last couple of weeks, and you know, I've had probably as much fun as ever in a speed car over this weekend. We had a good race in the pole shuffle, and we're looking forward to a good race in the final. And you know, I figured that I was going as hard as I could, and all it took was one little slip up, and the track was quite difficult to drive on tonight, and thankfully we come out ahead, but it could have gone either way. Big special thanks to Jason and Michelle Gray for putting us up for the whole couple of weeks, and big thanks to everybody for coming along tonight. I'd like to thank my whole crew, particularly the biggest thank you of all would be to Wayne Cover, Rod Cover, and a whole heap of people from Wasda back in Perth who worked tirelessly to get all the cars out here for this particular weekend and last week as well, and big thanks for them, because without mainly Wayne we wouldn't have got here, and I hope his car ran well tonight with Scott driving. And I'd like to thank my family, and particularly my wife Valerie, who's here tonight, and I named my car Flash in dedication to a friend of mine who passed away recently, so I'm sure he was watching.
Well done, Michael. Congratulations. If you'd like to receive a trophy there.
That's something to go for the smash.
And Rick. As you can see, the car Australia won and the Australian flag. Great thing to see on Australia, 2002.
Yeah, no,
How about a big hand for these great drivers? Also, young Green Callum finished fourth. These three young drivers, so hopefully they're going to stick around for a while and get into this terrific Speedcar. Thank you very much indeed, guys. We're going to have some celebrations. We're going to have minutes. We've got a couple more races to go. Thank you for coming. Please come down. It's over. The meeting's over.
Far and wide for this one. Three of the best that Uncle Sam can slam down, and some fearless Aussies getting ready to get it on. We're about to go hot lap, but the track is in excellent shape. You're about to feel the ground pound, folks, as we get ready to rack 'em and stack 'em for hot laps.
Dirt racer, who's gonna set quick time? Who's gonna stop this race at the head of the line? Got the right rear tires locked on tight. Got a big main wing that's set just right. When the power goes down and the horses bite, well, you better believe there's gonna be a fight tonight. All right.
We're green.
Dirt racer, it's gonna be all night. Dirt racer, you got it on the line. The whole wide world will know your name when you're standing there in victory lane. Dirt racer.
Well, General John Day leads them around to the Ute as we get set for the four-wide salute. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, get up on your feet and salute these heroes. Oh, the place is electric. You can cut the air with a knife.
Got fresh-faced kids just out of school. Got wise old veterans, they ain't no fools.
Max, the throttle stomping family man from Warrnambool.
They're the best of the best, they roll into town. Talk is cheap, time will settle this now. When the power goes down and the horses bite,
650 horses, and they're going to use every one of them.
well, you better believe there's gonna be a fight tonight.